Hello, hello, happy Friday. Welcome to our Friday Witchy Hangout. I hope that everybody had a happy holiday. I'm not quite ready to give up Christmas just yet in my heart and in my home. So that's also why I'm still dressed like this and I still have, well, obviously I still have the decorations up. So today we have a lovely juicy reading on what are they saying about you. And after we chose this topic, I thought it was rather timely because a lot of us did just get together with family and friends. So maybe some of you are like, I wonder what they're saying about me, afterwards. I obviously don't know. We haven't done any of the piles yet, but I thought that was really funny that that's the reading that came through with my intuition as like what we should explore this week. So if you're new here, we do this every single Friday. We get together, we do a live stream, we share our energies, we get into a juicy topic, and that is what we're doing today. So we have 3 piles and we've got an anchor card, which the anchor card is not a choice, but it is a common energy that goes into each one of the piles. And today we have the sustainer. And some people like to look at the anchor card to just kind of know what the energies are for themselves. Is said yes, it's the debrief I do with my partner after we leave the party, but slightly delayed. Okay, so that's the anchor card, and then we've got 3 choices here. If you haven't already selected your pile, now is the time where we can do that. Or if you've already chosen your pile, then you can just join us in a moment of silence and just meditation and calming your energy. But I like to put my hands over my heart, close my eyes, turn the gaze inwards. That's Soul. That's my little boy cat. He's a little sun cat. So if that means anything to anybody. All right. Just take a couple moments in silence here, and whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes and be drawn to whatever pile or multiple piles you are just naturally drawn to, and whichever way your intuition is moving you, keeping in mind that can be a message in and of itself, that Spirit's trying to get your attention about how your intuition is moving, or it can just be a clarifying message in and of itself with how with something to do with the situation. So for instance, if it's like you thought it was pile 3, but actually when you hear pile 3, it doesn't resonate, so you choose another pile, that might say that maybe you've gotten the wrong impression, or you've got to get through this like other kind of energy, or they do. Maybe that's something that they're dealing with. It can be in some way a clarifying message in and of itself. So, all right. Thank you guys so much for the super chats. And for a lot of people gave me tips and stuff on Christmas and said happy holidays. And thank you guys so much for your love and your support and your generosity. Thank you so much, Anonymous, for starting us off with a $20 super chat. Somebody gave me a $5 super chat on one of my other videos this morning too. And Silver and Lavender Insights, thank you so much for the super chat. Have a coffee on me. Merry Christmas. You have no idea. There's this coffee shop near my house. It's fairly new. And they have this Christmas coffee and it's so good, and it's not going to be on the menu for much longer. So I'm going to take you up on that. Thank you so much. All right. I always have to look up Kairos. Yeah, this is one that kind of comes out on the regular, but all right, so we have 3 cats, perhaps a pile for a little guardian angel. Interesting. All right, so with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this. We're going to do pile number 1, which is the Kairos energy. Pile number 1. All right, what are they saying about you? Pile number 1. Let me compassion. We'll just get a little compassion going. I think this person does, okay. Something has been like stirred or moved in this energy. I feel like Spirit is heavily involved here in this particular pile. This person checks in on you. And I feel like, because they're a little bit on the outside looking in with this, but I feel, okay, there's a lot with the I energy. I'm hearing, I saw what you said about me. I saw what you said about me. So that's weird because they didn't hear what you said about them. And also with the sustainer at the bottom of the deck, I'm noticing like the hands like up over the ears. So for some of you, I feel like they could have witnessed a conversation between you and a friend, and maybe they didn't actually hear what was said, but they kind of, okay, I'm seeing that scene from Mean Girls with Lindsay Lohan where she walks into the gymnasium and she's like, have you ever walked in the room and knew that somebody was talking about you? Have you ever had it happen 100 times in a row? But obviously she had done something, so they could have just like walked in and saw you talking with a particular person and kind of knew, like their ears are burning kind of a thing. But also for some of you, I feel like this person could have like gotten into your phone, maybe. I'm not trying to like give anybody paranoia, but I feel like this person might have like your phone passcode or something, or the classic thing with like the iPod where maybe you were texting with somebody and like the iPod, we haven't had iPods since the early 2000s, the iPad, and like they could have seen some kind of text message encounter, something like that, and they saw what was said about them. I don't even feel like it was particularly bad, though. Like with all this blue energy around, I think that whatever it was that you said, it was clear. It wasn't like, this isn't a red energy or like a maroon energy or, you know, like a shadowy energy in any way. It's blue energy. It's crystal clear. It's the energy of the throat chakra. So in some way they observed you speaking to someone else. This even could have been on like a doorbell camera or like a security camera or something like that. But whatever was said was clear. You weren't trying to be hateful. You were just being like matter of fact. And I feel like you were expressing yourself purely. And I feel like Spirit had a hand in this because Spirit needed this person to have this insight or to have this realization about how you truly feel about them or how people truly feel about them in general. And like I said, I like that you're on to them or that you've pieced certain things together, or this even could be like, okay, say this is the holiday example and you were like on somebody's doorbell camera and you were like, okay, like be nice, or like, okay, if they bring up this, like don't react, like, you know, it could have even just been something like that. But I see Spirit needed this person to have their eyes opened in regards of their own kind of behavior. And I'm also kind of seeing the Beast from Beauty and the Beast, like staring into the mirror. Oh, the mirror, right? It's kind of like that Medusa-esque quality of like looking into the mirror. You have to look in the mirror. You have to see a picture of yourself reflected back in order to understand what I just heard. Black mirror, because I almost said black mirror. So again, the phone, or this person could have seen something and then like closed off their phone, and you know, it's like just that black screen and they saw like the image of themselves. I feel like there was something here that was like a wake up call. Black mirror. Oh, okay. So, I'm really getting this could have been on a phone or something like that, but Spirit needed them to have this wake up call because I'm seeing from Beast, like the Beast from Beauty and the Beast, where it's like, show me the girl. So I feel like, again, it's kind of reminding me of like them being on their phone, going to your social media or something. So that you could have said something here and it was like about this person, but I don't think it was mean. And I just think that it was absolutely clear. And like I said, Spirit needed you to speak in that way. Catherine, thank you so much for the super chat. Merry Christmas, Jess and Alex. Merry Christmas to you, Catherine, as well. But yeah, I feel that this person needed this kind of wake up call because I think this person, okay, so you're showing up in Isis energy to me, and I'm seeing her in this particular deck, and this is the confidence card, so I'm just going to keep this. But you are showing up as Isis, which she's the one that kind of collects little tidbits of information, right, in order to piece together the whole tapestry. And I feel like this person was hiding or lying or not telling you the whole truth about something. I feel like this person is kind of a selfish person, and I feel like they can compartmentalize certain things, and that's within their own mind, but I also feel like that's in certain areas of their life. And so I feel like this person, there's always like holes, you know, that you associate with this person, holes in the story. They leave certain things out, or there's some kind of like mystery. I think they could feel this way about you, but I feel like that's your response to this person, you not having the answers that you need to feel comfortable. Because I think this person thought that they were sly, or they thought that they were slick in some way, because they're used to being very strategic. I do feel this person is a very selfish person, and in some regard, I don't think they're necessarily a bad person that I'm getting. Although, hold on, let me see here. There could have been something here about the past that was said here as well. So what is this person saying about you? Let me just see. But they were surprised that you would piece certain things together, certain things that they were maybe intentionally not saying or trying to leave out of the picture. And they were trying to get you to like gloss over it or not notice it or not be able to put it together, but you did piece it together. I'm really getting that you could have gray rocked this energy in some way, which I'm hearing Dr. Ramani in my mind, which her acronym DEEP, never defend, never engage, never explain, and never personalize, which is essentially gray rocking, right? It's like, don't just, okay, like short answers or whatever. And I also feel like you're very polite, you're very well mannered. And so it's like you never would have said this to this person in the way that they needed to hear it, you know, because I think you're very well mannered. And also you are kind of onto this, that you have a reason to defend. Because I feel like this person was trying to get away with something, or they were trying to hurt your pride or something like that. And you just saw it. You were onto it. And so you're like, I'm not going to engage. I'm not going to give them what they want. I'm not going to fan this fire or something like that. And like I said, you're very well mannered, but you're also a person, and you need to like vent, or you need to explore, or you need to see like, do you see this too, or something. So I feel like you were just having some kind of like normal conversation, but this person needed to see this kind of secondhand as a wake up call, and maybe to possibly explain your behavior, because I think this person believes that like the two of you left on positive terms, but it's just because you're very well mannered and because you don't believe in giving this person like what they want. This person, I think, could have like, I don't know. I don't know. It's like this person is used to just being very strategic. And I think this person can be very short-sighted as well. It's like they want what they want in the moment. I feel like this person too could always be like $1 late and $1 short, or a day late and $1 short. And it's because they're actually not very observant. They're observant and up close. Like, you know, cats, they have very nearsighted vision, but they're very detail oriented with what's like right here. But further away, it like becomes a blur. And this person is like, because whatever they see in front of them, they're trying to manipulate in order to get extract. This person's like a taker. They're an extractor in order to extract whatever it is that they want from it. And I feel like you just kind of like caught on to this. Now, for some of you, I feel like this is what they could potentially be saying about you. If you were the person, because I'm not naive, okay? Like, certainly there's some people on this that are in this energy. So if you were the person that was two-timing them or being two-faced, then I feel like this person witnessed maybe a conversation where you were doing that, or that's what they saw on the iPad. And they didn't bring it up. They didn't say it to you, but they mentioned it. That's what they're saying to like their friend or something, is that they're on to you and that they're gray rocking and they're not letting on that they know what you are, and etc. So flip the energies if you need to. But let's just see, what is this person? I think they're also flabbergasted is what I'm hearing. Their flabber is gasted, and they are feeling like, I think they think that you're very attractive. There's something here that they're seeing. There's a lot of energy in the eyes here. And for some of these people, they aren't saying this out loud. Like, I think especially if this is the person that was caught out, because this is all about spirit orchestrated this in order to induce a tower moment in this person. And I think whenever this person hears the truth about themselves, I think they feel attacked, which really says a lot. But this person doesn't have a lot of self-awareness. So they always just want to like boss up and like attack. But something about the way in which they're seeing you, it means that they can't just like come right at you. And it's because spirit needs this person to have the tower moment, have a realization that not everybody falls for their tricks. I think there's a respect here for your mind, for your ability to, because it's like you didn't have much to go on. You didn't have much to go off of, and you were able to see this person. And I think because, you know, once you've met one narcissist, you've met them all. And so this probably isn't your first rodeo for a lot of you, but this person wanted to like come at you, but they couldn't. They wanted to like stab at you, or they wanted you to feel like isolated or ostracized or left out in the cold. They wanted to attack you in a way that you couldn't see or defend. This is so narcissistic for some of you. And then they wanted to like, this person wanted like a metaphorical bomb to go off, and then they wanted to watch it happen, maybe on the phone as well. This is a dark person. I also just heard dark sense of humor. So this person, I think, thinks that they have a dark sense of humor or that they're edgy, but really they're just an asshole. Okay. Let's see. What else? What is this person saying? It's more that they heard what you said about them, I feel like, for this pile. And they're feeling attacked by it, but I can see whatever this was, it was a reflection of themselves. And they're so manipulative that like, and that they're not used to hearing the truth about themselves, but spirit needed them to hear it in this way, which is why they did it in this roundabout way. Because you never would have, and that's what this person, they're so angry, you never would have said it like this to their face. You never, like, you would have tempered yourself out. But I feel like you were speaking in this blue energy, this energy of the throat chakra, where it's like very clear, just very matter of fact, very healing. I think this person thinks very highly of you as well, or you were a target of theirs. It's like this person was expecting to like, they only think about what they want. This is an extractor. This is a taker. I feel like this person's hurt a lot of people. A lot of people feel that same way. There's people here I can see though that are in a state of sadness and confusion in regards of their run-in with this particular person. Like they're blaming themselves. They feel not enough, which is what this person's energy is kind of like designed to do. This is like a accountability phobic kind of person. And so there's some people that I'm seeing like just kind of in that energy. And once you realize that they've caught on to who this person is, there's an anger. There's an anger that they've been handled and they've been treated so callously. And this person almost doesn't think that there's anything wrong with like what they're doing. They kind of think everybody's like this. And that's why they're so angry at you as well. But you're not. They don't understand that either. What are they saying about this group here? King of Pentacles. They think they see you in a highlight. They really do. They think that you are poised, well put together. Okay, this person is acting like the victim because they're saying that they like invested a lot into this, but that it wasn't enough for you and that you kind of like started over. They're kind of trying to act like you are better than them, like, or that you think that you're better than them, but they see you really highly. And I think this person actually does know that you've been more than fair and that you're very even keel and you're very matter of fact. And okay, so you just were like, you know what? This is a waste of time. Like nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to come up of this. And this person's trying to act like it's this energy. Like you stomped all over them and it's this like you were after the crown and it's this like kind of fiery energy and that you've done this before and that you're just like this kind of eatery kind of person. But really you're in this energy, the King of Pentacles. They could be trying to say this to a King of Pentacles as well, to somebody that is I'm not getting a lot of speaking energy from this person, to be honest. Like this is just the way that they're processing it and they're processing this tower moment. That's what I'm really getting. So, but they're trying to paint you as the villain, but they can clearly see that things are good in your world. Like things are stable, things are calm, things are happy. You're a very generous person. You're a very giving person. You're a very balanced person. And I actually think this person has something else in their remit that's doing this to them that is in this kind of like energy that's bested them and they're realizing things need to change. That's what's going on. So I think their initial response was in this anger energy and they were trying to lash out, but there is something about your energy that's very dignified where they know it's not true. Like not even this person is buying their bullshit anymore. And you were in this Isis energy and you are protecting yourself. I think you could have outlined the reasons why you are protecting yourself from this person, or you could have even been texting like one of your friends and you could have even just been saying like, yeah, they're trying to bait me into an argument right now, but I'm not going to feed into it. I'll see you tomorrow. Like it could have been something as simple as that. And this person was like, whoa, I didn't realize that they were on to me. They thought that you were aloof. They thought that you just didn't notice. They thought it was something else other than you're onto them. You've pieced it together. This is the pattern that it always is. You understand that nothing is going to come up like that you've cast your seeds on barren ground with this person, or that if you invest any more energy into this person, that's what's going to happen. That was really shocking to them. And they respect you and they respect your opinion. And, so at first they wanted to be angry, but then I think it really just petered out into this person realizing that something needed to change. This is kind of a big deal, I think, like on a spiritual level. They're realizing that you don't want to talk, that there is like no Libran energy between the two of you. I think it would make this person feel better in their mind to have some kind of Libran dynamic with you, but they know that you are not open to that because of the past. But you didn't see, this is what like this person keeps thinking about, is you didn't see something here. And they're certain that you didn't, but you saw just enough. And you knew that it was weird. And this person just, they're very selfish. They want what they want. And this is somebody, okay, they're an opportunist. And they're very much in their Mars energy. They're very strategic. And so when an opportunity presents itself, this person just wants to capitalize on it. They just want to take whatever it is, but they don't want it to have consequences. So for instance, if you're in a relationship with somebody, but you know that somebody else is interested in you and you're like, I just want to go sleep with that person, but I don't want it to break up my relationship. So a healthy person and a person who is empathetic and cooperative is going to realize, okay, I need to make a decision here. This person uses their strategic mind, their opportunistic mind, their detail-oriented mind to be manipulative and to avoid making decisions. Thank you, Heather, for the super chat. Small minds talk about people, big minds talk about ideas. Exactly. So this person, they always try to get what they want, extract what they want out of the situation, but avoid the consequence so that they can control the outcome. So this is a very controlling person, very manipulative person. I feel like in their heart, they're not necessarily a bad person. They don't necessarily want to spit in people's bean curds. They don't necessarily like that, but they do like to know that they can emotionally affect you and that they have some kind of control. So if this person ever tried to make you angry or make you upset, I feel like it really bothers this person that you are just like very even keel. And you're even keel because you when you met one narcissist, you met them all. Like you can see the tactics. And this person operates based on tactics instead of decisions, instead of values, and instead of feelings. And that's essentially what you need from them. And you have realized that I think this person is used to saying, oh, it was just a little mistake. And they do this by keeping things compartmentalized. But this is more than a mistake. It's a character trait. It's the way that this person operates. And it's incredibly ingrained in this person, but because they keep things compartmentalized, they get away with saying, well, this was just one kind of whoopsie, this was just a mistake. And then it's like kind of, you go through the whole cycle again, the love bombing, the devaluation, discard, hoovering. You go through the whole cycle again with this person because they're trying to just kind of always cover their tracks. And it's because this person truly does not know a different way to operate. They don't know that they can have a longer term vision. And I think that's how you caught on to this person, is you did have this longer term vision. You could see the way that these traits and this relationship with this person plays out in the long run. You could see that it doesn't get better, and you're not lying to yourself about it, and you're not lying to anybody else about it too. And what catches this person is that this person, again, like they operate with this very detail-oriented sight, but they're very nearsighted. So that's how they operate. And you didn't need that. So it kind of blew this person's mind that like without having the details of something here, like you were still able to see it. And it's because you were reading the silence in the room. You knew where the blind spots were, and you knew it was suspicious, and you knew it meant something. Emily, thank you so much for the super chat. I clearly see and feel this person slithers. I set boundaries that fuels their selfish strategies. I see and feel clearly. Exactly. And when you're saying that, like the feel clearly and stuff and the see clearly, it's like clairvoyant energy. And I think this person is kind of connecting with it. It's like you couldn't see something in particular, but you still knew that the pattern, you saw the pattern in the void energy that they kind of like left behind. This person doesn't see in this holistic kind of fashion. They don't. And so it's almost mythical to them that you can actually do that. But it's because you're taking in like the periphery, and because you're not so zeroed in on the selfish thing that you want in the moment. And this person also doesn't understand happiness because they think that happiness, this is essentially what it is, the crux of the issue, I think. This person doesn't understand happiness. They think that happiness comes from getting 100% of the things that you want, which is like the outcomes even. Like I want this outcome with this person, and I want this from over here and that from over there. And then whenever they get what it is that they want, they just ghost, or they like go hollow, and it can be like this tower energy for other people, but they got what they wanted. And they think that by collecting all of those things, that's how they build happiness. But I feel like this person does like have maybe everything that they ever wanted for themselves, right? But they don't have it all in one place. This person could never do that. So they don't build a life and therefore build an image of themselves that they like, et cetera, et cetera. But it actually doesn't lead to happiness because this person misses that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. So they try to take like, if they just, I don't know, like as an example, and this is an extreme example, but they're like, well, I'm committed in my heart to if they have one, but I'm committed in my heart to that person over there. That's who I want to be with, but they're not around, and I decide that I want to have a kid. So I'm just going to go get pregnant by that person over there. So now I have a kid, and I'm going to go try to get the relationship from over here. And then I'm going to try to go and get this from over here, the supply schmegs from over here, and this, it's like they use people, that this person is a user. And then they're like, see, I've got everything that I ever wanted and I made it happen, instead of saying like, I want a life with this person. So that means I've got to consider this person, and they don't understand that there's a genuine pleasure. And I feel like you could have taught them this, or that's what was on the table to be learned between the two of you. There's a genuine pleasure in sacrificing some things for the right people, the people that you love and the people that invest in you. And I'm seeing like the 80-20 rule. And I think this is something that where it's like, you might not get 100% of the things that you want, but you get 80% of it. And that's doing pretty well. That's about as good as any of us can really ask for. But the 20% of the things that you let go, I think you've let them go because you're in relationship with somebody else, and you have really considered their needs and their emotions, et cetera, et cetera. And so like you feel good. It's like, I didn't want it anywhere. I'm so glad that I could have sacrificed it for you. Like it gives it some kind of higher meaning. And so you have this holistic version of happiness where the whole of what you've created and built, and you've done it in accordance with people and considering people's emotions, because this person is very strategic, and I think they're very surprised when things don't work out the way that they want it to work out, like in their controlling nature. And it's because they don't factor in the heart space. They don't factor in the way in which they make people feel. I think they understand that people will generally like not like something, and that they might move away from it. So that's why they have like excuses and this kind of mistake thing, they have an out. This person kind of does think like 2 or 3 steps ahead, but they really have not factored in the heart space and the way that they make you and other people feel. And that's how I feel like you've gotten away from this person. And it feels like you're a really big thing. It's because they're showing me it flip. They're showing this person really only got, they maybe got 100% or very close to it of the outcomes that they wanted, but they really only got 20% of happiness. They really only got 20% of the things that they wanted. And they've got this 80% goal and they don't understand why. And there's something here about this conversation that they saw what you said about them, right? That is illuminating this person as to just why that is, why their method, Spirit's trying to alert them that their method, their approach to life and the way that they steer their rudder in their boat, it's the wrong rudder. So you have a rudder that's cooperative and considerate of other people. You make decisions when you're called to make decisions. You don't try to have your cake and eat it too. And that's what this person tries to do. They try to have their cake and eat it too. Thomas, thank you so much for the super chat. Happy holidays. Yeah, so this person's trying to have their cake and eat it too, which I think is a relationship with you, and they're trying to facade manage. This person they're always trying to facade manage like with you. And so I'm seeing them put up like cardboard, like a stage set, on Broadway or something. I'm seeing them trying to like cover you with like a stage set to where it's like, oh, and look, I'm over here and this is all you can see, but you somehow saw through all of it because you're like, this is clearly made of cardboard. And I saw you move that extra over here. And it's like, what's going on? You've seen, like the people dressed in black in the theater that they kind of run props in and off of the stage. You're like, I can see you, like it's that kind of energy. And so this person is like, well, I thought happiness came from scheming around to try to get all the things that I want. It's this very selfish perspective, but it's about sharing. And actually, it's more fulfilling when you choose the right people, the people that you really jive with, and when you don't reduce or minimize. Because I feel like this person always reduces or minimizes people down to the thing that they can give them. And I think they tried to do this with you as well, and I think they just underestimated you, and they treated you very badly. You were their favorite in some way. You were their favorite of whatever genre of person, like, whether this is family, whether this is romantic, like you were their favorite here in some way. And you're just very balanced. I feel like this person saw a life with you. They saw some kind of life with you. They wanted to have a go at you. I think they wanted to, but they knew you were right. And they respect you a lot. Christine, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you guys so much for these super chats. All right, so anything else? What is this person? Like I said, I keep coming back to, they're not saying a lot. Okay. And it's because all of this is taking place, like this kind of tower moment realization. Another thing this person does is like they introduce negativity into the space, like from all these negative actions. And this is why you didn't call them out directly, because if you do call them out directly, then this is why you have to gray rock with the narcissist. Because if you're like, you did this bad thing and like we're holding you accountable, no, I can see you like very clearly. They're like, oh, you're so negative, like, let's not be negative. Oh, and then they try to point like the finger back at you. And so that's why you're not doing this here as well. And that's also, there's something here about like the screen. There's something about the way in which I keep hearing it. I saw what you said about me. There's something here about that dynamic that is preventing this person from having their tactics be usable or excusable, or it doesn't work the same way. Okay, so if this is happening over text as well, the two-dimensional quality of it is, there's something about that as well, because you're not seeing tone of voice, you're not seeing facial expression, or something here like that. I don't know. Yeah, the manipulation quality. Okay, what else are they saying? Oh my gosh. Okay, so again, I'm not really getting a lot of saying energy from this person, but I'm getting seeing energy, and they're seeing this victory, and they're seeing the Wheel of Fortune step in and like kind of bless you and maybe move you away from this person. And they're seeing that you are independent here in some way, and that you're very protective. But you're protective in a Pentacles way, and this person's protective in a Wands sort of way, which is telling me I feel like this person could, I don't know, potentially lash out. Also, the Four of Pentacles for me is the energy of like Capricorn. It's a Capricorn energy. And so there's something here about, it's that gray rocking energy again. You don't interact with them. And I feel like this person maybe has to go to your social media, or they have to go to your friends or your friends' social media in order to hear anything from you, because they're definitely watching you. They're definitely watching you. So if they are saying anything, they're going to say that they've been watching you. They're really shocked. I just heard impressed as well by what they saw. And I think for some of you, they're impressed that you've you've built for yourself maybe, but they're impressed that you've pieced something here together. They are feeling shame. They are feeling shame, but it's in secret. The illusion is shattered. This person is realizing that the illusion they tried to cover you in is shattered, that you're moving forward, that they didn't respect you in the past, They reduced you down for some of you to like your body. Or they made you do all the work in something, in your relationship maybe. They're saying that you've grown in confidence here as well. And perhaps for some of you, they're saying that there's something that only you could have done. Like only you could have done this, or only you could have got through to them because of something to do with the past and something to do with childhood. So for some of you, this could be a parent, or they knew you from when you were a child and they've seen like your transformation. So like for you to be the person that called them out was like super potent, but it's like only you could have done this is what I'm getting. What else are they saying? Maybe they know they broke your heart. So the narcissists tend to think that everybody's like them, that everybody operates like them. So this person could have felt very justified in like not pulling their punches, or like because they thought they projected out their own selfishness, their own strategy, their own lying, their own slithering onto you in order to feel comfortable like trying to take some really low blows, or just like to not pull their punches. And they're realizing actually that you're not like them at all. You are a very feeling person. You are a very sensitive person, that they actually did break your heart. And that's why it's that Saturn and Libra energy. You put restrictions on the relationship. That's why you put a blockage here. But they do have a lot of love for you. They know that they can't fix this through language. Dolores said, this is a nice way to say he made me live a lie of a relationship. Yep. And they knew that, but they didn't know that you knew that. And so it's weird. This feels like a delayed reckoning, because I think for you are like, doesn't it hurt you that you would do that to somebody that you claim to love? And no, the answer for this person is no. They actually only now feel embarrassed, or because they feel called out, because who they really are is like dragged into the light. That's what's causing this reckoning, because before they just thought that they were getting away with it. And because they thought that they were getting away with it, it didn't like play on their mind. They were still just focused on their strategies and like making their little chess moves, because they still thought they could get you back for a lot of you. And I think that means like they still thought that they could get you back in their clutches, back into your good graces, but also they want to get you back as well, like take their own kind of hit or their own kind of punch. And this does have to do with a power dynamic, because I think this person's obsessed with power, and they were trying to kind of put you in your place, but like still bring you into the fold. So it was a return to the way things used to be. They still thought that they could return to the way things used to be. Look, I'm always going to be here for you. I love you so much no matter what. I feel like that's potentially what this person is saying. But I think you think it's hollow, and that it will only ever last for so long, because I think this person may well realize certain things, but it only lasts for so long because they're so selfish. Like this person is just selfish, and they're very opportunistic, and old habits die hard is what I'm getting. They don't know what to do. They want you back. They have a lot more respect for you. This is ironic. They have a lot more respect for you. You definitely stand out. You're in divine feminine energy for a lot of you. I don't know if this person feels like you're their divine feminine, but I'm getting that you are like a divine feminine. This is like super empath territory for you. This is, you're putting yourself first right now, because you weren't considered in this relationship any more than just a pawn on the board that needed to be maneuvered around so that this person could act atrocious behind the scenes. And, no more. Like you're not having it anymore. So this person doesn't know what to do. They're stunned. I just heard a stunned mullet. This person is a stunned mullet. They're stunned. And this is a part of a healing crisis, but it's necessary. This person feels called out. They were called out, but it was kindly. It was by a very noble person. It was behind the scenes. And I don't feel that you were trash talking this person. I feel like this person made you deal with a lot. So you could have just been processing your emotions. I think you actually could have been, I'm hearing from Emma where Mr. Knightley is calling Emma out for the poor way that she behaved at a party. And he was like, how could you do it? It was badly done indeed, and he was like, I wish you could have. So she made somebody else feel embarrassed, somebody that didn't deserve it. And he was like, how could you do it to poor Miss Bates? I wish you could have heard of the way that she spoke about it. She was so kind. She was so compassionate, even when she was trying to process what you did, which was clearly aggressive. That's what he was trying to say. And I feel like this person knows that they were aggressive. They know that they were selfish. They know that they meant to cause harm. They know that they intended to get away with it. They know they didn't intend to give you your justice, treat you like a person, treat you with compassion. And I don't think this person's sadistic in that way. I don't think that, but they certainly understand if it comes across that way, or if you don't know if they're sadistic, they're just extremely selfish. That's what it is. They're just extremely selfish, and they don't care who they've got to step on or who they've hurt or who they reduce down to something much less than like, they don't care. And now they got called out. And I think that they're able to see that they hurt you. And that might be a new experience for this person. Because it's not like they want to hurt people, but also it's like it doesn't really faze them or affect them too much, like when they do hurt somebody. But they care that they hurt you. And they know why you're guarded. And it's hard to tell with this person if they know that they hurt you and it bothers them just because they can't get what they want out of you. They can't extract what they maybe always thought that they could extract from you. And so it's the end of a cycle is what I'm hearing. It's just the end of a phase between the two of you. They're never going to get one over on you again. They're not going to be around you again until they change and fix this. And I do think they want to, but wanting to and being able to is different because it's a very deeply ingrained pattern. And this person does not seem to care that they have, because what they did to you, they've done to other people. And they've hurt other people. They've made other people feel that way too. And they don't care. No matter what happens, my heart will always belong to you. Please forgive me. I know I messed up. So this person is remorseful. And even like in the face of me, like saying these things, this person is like, no, I'm really sorry. But I think that you feel this person can be very convincing. I don't think you buy it. I think this person could say all the right things to you and you would just be like, this par for the course for this person to say all the right things. I just heard all the right moves in all the right places. I feel like that's what you come to expect from this person. Yeah, of course, like, because you know how to maneuver. Because this person is a tactician. This person is, and they got away with this for a long period of time. And once you've seen that, that's what you've seen here. I love you today. So this person's being very lovey. I love you today, tomorrow, and always. I was just a fool for not admitting it earlier. I know I was wrong by not talking to you. Would you be open to talking now? This is tough because I don't know. This person, I'm learning a spiritual lesson. This person is learning a spiritual lesson, that's for sure. Spirit is up in this mix. And I don't know, because I've always heard that narcissists can't change. But I don't know, Spirit is like kind of orchestrating this. But I feel like you do need to stay away from this person for now. I think that you know this person's silver-tongued and that dirty deeds done dirt cheap playing in my mind. Exactly. But yeah, I think that you know that talk is cheap with this person. They're probably very good with their words, but it's just too easy for them and it's too meaningless and it's too cheap and it's too this person's very adept with words. I think you would only believe actions and you don't want to get close enough to this person to see their actions. There's no one else thinking about you all day. I do love you. I just don't know how to show you right now. I never expected to fall in love with you so quickly. Okay, healing. Old wounds and childhood issues need revisiting. So I think there's old wounds between the two of you. What else are they saying about pile number one? They're not. I feel like they didn't want to hear, but they know that you're right. You've affected this person. Different pages. They know that the trust was broken. Different pages, you and this person don't share the same vision. So whatever they heard or saw that you said, they understand that you are on different pages. The way that this person sees themselves and the way that they thought you saw them. Because this person thought that there was hope. They thought that they could. I just really get the sense that this person was in their other segments. They fragment things out. And so they were like, yeah, I'm over here taking this from this person, this from this person. And then I got it all locked up to come back around to group one. And then when they came back around and they thought, they were like, okay, because this is a tactician, and they were like, okay, so they didn't find out about this, they didn't find out about that, they didn't find out about that. So they view me in this way, and this way, and this way. So I'm going to present myself in this way and go time. But then this person, that's when they realized that you actually don't see them the way that they thought you saw them. That they're not as slick as they thought, and that you're much smarter than they realized. That they didn't give you enough credit, and that they are going to have to really revamp themselves. They're going to really have to they can't come back to you. Basically, they realize they cannot come back to you because there's strong stability in your boundaries. Firm boundaries are needed now. This relationship can stand the test of time. I feel like this person's saying, look, this relationship can stand the test of time. I got all my bullshit skullduggery out over here on all these innocent victims. And you're like looking behind this person and you're seeing all the people and all the like scorched earth. And you're like, I don't want that near me. And I don't want to be associated with you in public. Like, and you've like done all of this to other people. I would hate it if any single person that you harmed in the past looked up, saw my picture next to your picture and was like, that's the kind of person that is. That clearly they're okay with this kind of behavior. I would literally hate to be associated with you. I think that's like, I don't want my name and your name in the same sentence, let alone if this is like a marriage situation. Like, I don't want to have your last name. I don't want to be associated with you. I don't want to put that evil eye energy, like that you need to clean this up. Like, so you have like very strong boundaries here. Yeah. Decision. It's time to decide about this relationship. You've shown this person the power of making a decision, because maybe you do want something from this person, closure, a conversation, whatever. But you've just decided, it goes back to that 80-20 where you're like, I can't get everything that I want out of this situation. I'm not going to cherry pick. I'm going to decide. And that's how I'm going to maintain my peace of mind and my happiness. You're showing this person actually how to build actual genuine happiness. I think it's the shock of this person's lifetime that for all their scheming around and everything that they thought that they achieved, because this is devil energy. This is just one devil energy after another. It's so much devil energy in a row. And this person was like, those were all wins, but those were all wins that were actually losses. And this person didn't understand that. They didn't know how to process that. They also didn't understand how to process how they were just putting all of this negative energy into other people. I think that other people are talking about this person. I think that other people are starting to catch on about this person. I think that you are the canary in the coal mine where this person is starting to realize that not everybody sees them the way that they think that other people see them. I also think that this person like flips it and says, oh, well, it's completely unfair and unjust. And it's not based on the truth of who they are. It's based on what they think other people know, what information they think that they have, what dirt that they think that they have. So if they feel like they can discredit somebody because it's like, well, you're never going to be able to prove that, or you just have a hunch about that, you don't actually like, that's when they go in for the attack. It's not because they know what they are. On some level, they know what they are. But they have a short-term memory is what I'm getting, because they're always in the moment. This person just, it's like a locust. Like they just go in, they clear up one crop, and once they've like completely decimated it, it's a husk of itself, and they move on to the next thing. And this person just forgets that that's what they did, because they don't care. They got what they wanted out of the situation. So that's a win, right? That's a win in this person's book. That's what I'm saying. All these person's wins are actually losses. And they don't understand that they're a part of a social collective and that it does matter the way that you treat people. And you're showing this person that in some way. Yeah, and you've closed a cycle. So this person sees you in sovereign territory. They want to be like you, is what I'm getting. They're realizing that they want to be like you. I think this person thought that the energy and the tactics that they were using was the strongest energy in the universe, and that it made them better. It made them more intelligent. It made them worthy. I honestly think they thought it made them worthy of treating people like such shit. But then when they saw you, they realized that there was a better way. And they saw it actually leads to genuine happiness, And I think that you've had to say no to them. And this person thinks that there's a strong connection between the two of you. So they know what it is for you to have to say no to them and to just like walk away. That's impressive to this person. You took a major loss, but somehow that ended up being a win. So you're having this person kind of like sort certain things out. And I'm hearing like this is the end of a cycle. And this person's not going to get what they want out of this situation. They got a lot here, and they thought that those were like their little wish fulfillments, but it's like as they were going off scheming around, they lost the big thing. And I think the big thing is you, but it's also self-respect of the community. It's also future opportunities. It's being held in good standing, and they lost happiness. Because we all do the things that we do in life because we think that that's what we should be doing. We think that's what's going to lead to a sense of like happiness or success. So that's what this person is doing. It's just that they are the soggy taco. This person's life like just fell out the bottom. And they don't understand why. And I think this person's going to have to spend some time alone. And I think they're going to have to like be processing why. I also think people are gossiping about them. And I go back to Lindsay Lohan in the beginning, walking into that room, the auditorium, like, have you ever walked in and realized that somebody was just talking about you? Have you ever had it happen 100 times in a row? And I think word is getting around about this person and who they are. And it could have to do with a reunion energy as well. So you were the canary in the coal mine. And I don't think you even started like talking about this person. I think you told like one person, but I think you were what made this person realize that, wait a second, I'm not as smart as I think I am. People are smarter than I gave them credit for. And more people are probably on. If this one person feels this way about me, how many other people have figured me out as well? Like it's this big kind of like moment. But I think they wanted to go at you and they wanted to say that you're wrong, but they couldn't. Because they know that you're right. And they also know that you're like, they also know that you weren't coming at them. You weren't trying to cut them down. And actually they know that the way that you interacted with them is not aggressive. It wasn't low. It wasn't catty. They know all of these things. So it's an eye-opening experience basically for pile number 1. But yeah, that's what I have. I think this person was thinking about coming in and making quick work of something, but now they're like, processing and they're like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to recover from this, like with this person kind of thing. Yeah. You can't make people sad and live a happy life. I truly think that this person didn't know that. And I think it's in part because they thought everybody else was just out doing the same thing that they were doing. And so they felt justified in doing it. And they just thought that they were better at it. They didn't realize that they were like suave, sweet talking, getting people to drop their guards, getting people to trust them off of false pretenses. And that makes them an asshole. And that, because I feel like they wouldn't trust somebody. Or maybe they would. I don't know. But they thought it was a game or something. They really, truly have a weird worldview that I think is just like crumbled. Cool. But I feel like you are in this confidence energy and you're moving forward. And maybe like their Achilles heel, I feel like you're their Achilles heel, or you found it, or like you touched it, or something like that. And I feel like the divine or God or somebody knew that you could have this effect on this person, that if they heard you in particular speaking, but it's not, because I think that you can be very well-mannered and very curated, very compassionate and very kind, and also very strategic in that gray rock energy. Like you can tell when someone's trying to push your buttons and you're just not going to give them much. So they can't come at you like directly to your face. They needed to see how you would speak to your friends about them, you know, that somebody you could be open with, somebody that you could be honest with, you know, they needed to see that. Because you're the person that figured them out. So that's what I have for you guys. Pile number 1. This is an impressive group, and I feel like you've probably grown a lot. This person finds you irresistible as well. They find something about your energy irresistible. Yes, yes. Thank you for channeling these messages. It's been so helpful in healing. Even when I'm sick of hearing from him, the confirmation shows me how far I've come. Yes, and that's like another big thing as well, is this is just so much more than this one person. This is just, this is like your textbook, you know? Like, okay, so this is your textbook and you're going to bring it to every single math class that you're going to go towards. But you're learning so much about yourself, life, the universe, how far you've come. This is like a case study. That's what this is. Yeah, definitely. I love your energy and the way you speak. You're quick. Like my brain, love it. Yay! Thank you. Had to leave a Christmas gift. Yeah, thank you guys so much for all the super chats. Thank you so much for your incredible channeling, Jess. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. Let me just get one more drink. I'll put up the pile selection. In case you're just getting here, we just did pile number 1, which was the Kairos energy, and we're moving on to pile number 2, which is the King. I'm going to put my chapstick on, take a little breaky break. I love the bow, and you, of course. Thank you. I love this bow too. I really like the Who's. I always have. Like, I don't understand why our society can't be like that. Like, why can't that be our aesthetic, you know, where we all just like wear crazy like bows and everything. I would love that. Now that I got that off my chest, swoosh, compassion. Yeah, let me compassion this while you guys are looking at this. Compassion, 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 compassion. Oh, I hope he stops doing black magic though. Me too. All right, moving on to pile number 2. The King. Okay. What are they saying about you? All right, I'm going to get some cards for this one. I think this person really likes you. They might have a hard time communicating that. Okay, so what is pile number 2 saying about these people? What is pile number 2 saying, spirits? This person likes you. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this person can have a crush on you, or they could really like you. They could want to work together with you here in some way. What's that? Okay, but there is some kind of like stop energy. It could be that this person has been hurt in the past and they're really afraid to love, or they're really afraid to open up, or they're scared to find the truth, or they're scared to speak the truth. For some of you, it could be that this person hurt you in the past. They could have involved you in a third-party situation or broke your heart, and they know that the truth needs to be addressed here, and they're just scared because they really feel this like Two of Cups energy. But for some of you, I feel like this person has been hurt in the past and they're scared of opening up because they're scared of finding out the truth. Like, I think it might feel safer for this person to stay in the land of just like liking you and getting to feel that like beautiful energy from afar, because they're like, well, what if the truth is that you don't feel the same way? Or what if the truth is that you're seeing somebody else and that you have a crush on somebody else? Like, there is some kind of fear here. So they might be presenting as like somewhat cold here with the King of Swords, or like because they're trying to make some kind of decision. Or what is this person saying here about pile number 2? They're scared to have a conversation. Why? They're defensive. Wow, S. Thank you so much for the super chat. Okay, so they're defensive here. Possibly about like friends or friend group. Okay, this person also could be very introverted, and maybe you're always around your friends. So if this is somebody that you like, try to find time to like just be alone, like be off by yourself, so that this person can approach you and it can just be like the two of you having a conversation. Maybe for some of you, they feel like you're always in a group of friends and it's hard for them to make their approach because they're already feeling like kind of tender, or they're already feeling kind of like scared of like the unknown in this situation. They could be talking about like a party or a gathering, something that was actually like planned, and like some kind of get together. Okay, so I can't tell which way this is going, because for some of you, I think this person is feeling very regretful about some kind of planned party or get together where they showed up with somebody else. And perhaps that's why somebody else here, it's like the exact opposite energy. Because did you hear what I just said about this kind of the other way this energy could kind of go, which is somebody is like more of an introvert and they need you to be like alone so that they can approach you, kind of thing. Tasha, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you. I love your outlook / philosophies on life. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. So, yeah, I think this person could be feeling very regretful about that. So for some of you, there could have been some kind of situation where it's like the exact opposite energies meshed, where this person was like, yeah, I planned to get together to break your heart with a third party because I was trying to make some kind of like quick results with whatever that is. And they did that to a person that's very sensitive and already feeling kind of like defensive, and they don't really like the group. They would rather it just be like the two of you, or they need to kind of move slow like that because they feel comfortable talking to you, but they don't want to talk to you and 10 of your friends. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't. So it was already, they were kind of off kilter. So they're saying that maybe they're talking about a move that you made. Like you could have physically moved like apartments or location or something. They think that you're really happy, that you're doing really well on your own, and that maybe you guys are not in communication, or that you don't see that maybe they've just made a move, or that they want to make some kind of offering here to you as well. But they're saying that spirit kind of intervened in this situation, or that they're hopeful that spirit will intervene in order to give you guys a new beginning. In the physical, one that is like tangible, solid, they might be hoping that they run into you like at work or in your routine somehow. Like maybe this person could be like wanting to run into you at the store. They have like the fantasy in their mind of like that meet cute of like bumping into you like over the fruits and vegetables, and you're like, oh my gosh, like I haven't seen you in so long, kind of a thing. I might be a professional hermit by now. It's been so long. LOL. Carl Jung said that creativity is born in solitude, so I'm all for it. I love that. Yeah. So what else is this person? Okay, they're feeling really defensive, or maybe they think they made you defensive. Because I feel like there's two groups for this pile. Like it goes one way or it goes the other here. So they don't want to make you defensive. They might think that they need to move slow with you. And that they need to be friends first, and that they have to kind of like repair the friendship, or just, yeah, I think this person wants to do something sweet. They want to do something nice for you, possibly to do with their work or to do with their routine. They want to offer you something. This person might feel like there's things that they need to tell you or to reveal. And that's either because they kept things here from you in the past, or they feel like maybe you're heartbroken or that you are sensitive. And so they want to get to know, like they want to reveal certain things kind of slow, if that makes sense, but they know that they have certain things that they need to reveal. And ultimately they think this is going to lend itself to like sanctuary, and it could be why they left you out in the cold. This could involve a child for some of you. Oh my gosh, I'm about to mispronounce this. Ksenia. Thank you so much for the super chat. Aaron, I just heard that. Aaron, like I feel like that's me sometimes. Okay, so Yeah, they are wanting to open up and move slow. There's something, I feel like they know that you're sensitive around groups because there's something about you having left a group, or maybe they're waiting for you to walk away from your friends or to your group. There's something here that they're saying about like watching you leave. And yeah, after a painful ending, watching you leave. After a painful ending, I don't know where this is going for some of you. I just heard, hate to see her go, love to watch her leave. This person might like your butt. Or you like your shape. There's a big but in this is what I'm hearing. And I that could be physical. But there's like a but, I want this, but it's like this person could have wanted to go after you at something here, but there's like a big but here. Maybe it would have caused an ending or a rift in a friend group or something, or it's this like torn apart kind of energy. Or it's like, I wanted to go after you, but like I needed to clear the air. Yeah, there's secrets here. And it could be their feelings for you, for some of you, like, especially if this is like a new acquaintance or something. But there's also something that you don't know about their life or about their family or something that they're dealing with. And it doesn't have to be with like a family that they've built or that they've made. It could be somebody in their family is sick, or they don't want to introduce you to your mom because she's going through a hard time right now. And she says things that she doesn't mean because she's stressed about the divorce or like whatever, yeah, so they really have to balance something out here. There's something that needs to be strategized and worked around. And it could, for some of you, involve the law. Like this could be a family. It could be that this person is getting divorced. And, you've got to really watch that. And I know all of us know that. Even if you haven't experienced something like that, like you know somebody who did, or like this is something that people say, like a lot of people feel like you shouldn't get involved with someone who is just going through a divorce or is even like a year or so out of a divorce, because you never know if they're going to go back to that person. Once people have family ties, it's like now it doesn't really matter about your feelings. People have other motives for wanting to go back to their family. They've got a lot of other voices that could potentially be involved, and you don't necessarily want your heart involved in that situation. And so I feel like this person maybe is like, well, I need to get a divorce, or I need to make a decision here, something here to do with the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, so for some of you, this person could have this Queen of Pentacles energy. It could be a mom, it could be a job, it could be, and I think maybe they feel like they need luck on their side so that they can actually have like some kind of new beginning. And this feels on their own before they can kind of come towards you. So basically this person is thinking out loud. I'm thinking out loud. So I don't know who they're talking about this with. Could be a therapist, could be a friend, but I feel like they're trying to they want to come towards you. This person knows that they want to come towards you, but they also know that they broke your heart, or that you've had your heart broken in the past. So that tells me for some of you, this person could know something about your family is what I'm hearing, something about like your family history, or maybe this person knows someone in your family that told them that maybe you just went through a recent breakup, or I don't know. They could just know that you've been through certain things. They seem to know that there's a need to take things slow here, but that you're their wish fulfillment. They also see that you are happy and that maybe you've gotten some kind of wish fulfillment. For some of you, they just saw that you went on a vacation or something. They see that you're calm and that you're peaceful, but they also see that you're looking for your 10th cup, to make your 10 of cups, like your happy family home kind of situation, but that you're just fine on your own. And this is a good kind of fine. Like if this was you for the rest of your days, this is more than most people get kind of a thing. Like you like yourself, you're happy, you feel fulfilled, like you like your own company, things are easy, things are peaceful. You're creative, you're artistic, you enjoy the simple things. Yeah, and for some of you, if this energy is flipped, then this person's like, well, I really like this person, but I'm in this really good place, where things are calm and things are peaceful. And I've got my secrets here, but it doesn't feel bad. It doesn't feel like nefarious. And it's much easier for me to just be in my fantasies about a relationship, maybe even a relationship from the past. It's much easier for me to fantasize about this person coming in and saying sorry than to me actually dealing with them coming in and saying sorry. Because if somebody's like there and they're like, I'm sorry, I want to start this over again. It's like now all of a sudden you have to trust them. You have to make a decision about whether or not you're going to go forward on that. Where like in your daydreams, you're perfectly safe because this person is going to say what you tell them to say, and they're not going to do that thing that's going to break your heart. And they're, it's all like very controllable to you, like in your fantasy in your mind, but it's much, much different to have somebody standing in front of you like it's go time, baby, here it is, and then you have to be like, I don't really know if this is going to hold weight. I don't like actually having to trust you, so I don't know. It's if this person has been hurt before, I feel like that's more what they're saying. But Yeah, so there's a decision, like, what do I do? It's very much like, what do I do? And it feels like they've got to leave one thing to go to another thing. It feels something here has to like kind of close out, or they've got to, even if this is the person that's been hurt before, it's like they've got to leave behind this peace and solitude where they know that they're safe and they know that they're fulfilled in order to go after their 10th cup. Yes, but there's a risk that it might succeed and a risk that it might fail. So all of this feels like very precarious. And I feel like this person, again, I'm hearing it thinking out loud. This person is thinking out loud and they're trying to say like, how do I do this? How do I navigate this? They feel like you don't know that they feel this way about you or that they want to come towards you. They also feel like potentially some of you are sick, maybe sick and tired of the bullshit in general or their bullshit, or that you're just recovering here in some way. They don't want, maybe they feel like they rejected you in the past for some of you, and that you were clearly the higher cup, and that I can't tell which side of this you're on, because I feel like, yeah, for some of you, this person broke your heart in the past, or they hurt you because they were up in their head about some kind of option. They could have had some kind of option just like magically reappear, and it was Ace of Wands energy. So it could have been like really, they thought it was their wish fulfillment, whatever it was. And it was very sexual, and it was very, but then it ended up like causing some kind of upheaval. And it was, this person ended up being very different than they turned out to be. And maybe that's how they feel they were to you, is like, oh yeah, I showed up and I was really shiny and I acted like I was your prince or princess charming, but then boom, you got a message that I was moved on with someone else really quick. Or this person feels like, for some of you, if this is somebody from your past, they know that they ruined things, but they also know that they love you. They don't want you to end things. And I feel like they think that they're hanging on by a thread here, like that you've mostly closed the door here. But they potentially think, okay, I could reach out, but they also know one wrong move and like you're going to cut them loose entirely and that's going to be it. They really feel like they're hanging on a thread. And they're just confused. And I think they're really maybe observing you, or they're observing their friends, like their friends' reactions to the things that they're saying. They're watching you move on. They're watching you leave them behind. And possibly you have a new group of friends. And now maybe the shoe is on the other foot, where somebody here is like, I get overwhelmed. I think somebody here gets socially overwhelmed, or like, and I don't think that they're socially awkward necessarily, but I just think it's a lot to have to, engage with like 10 different people. And it's like, I like you. I don't understand why we can't just have like a calm conversation between the two of us. I'm going to need to have about 10 of those before I even feel comfortable like saying that we're dating, or saying that, even saying yes to going out on a date or something. It's like somebody really needs to sniff around another person, and they need to have the ability to do that. And they need to be made to feel comfortable, and they need to have opportunity to do that, without all of the distractions and the noise, and without all the social politicking and stuff. Like they're just not into that kind of thing. And I think maybe the shoe's on the other foot, where now the other person who maybe had you dodging like 10 people that they are friends with, but may or may not be sleeping with, and good luck guessing that and figuring that out. Like it's a lot to throw at a person. And it could have been a power play for some, but now I feel like that's switched, and you may actually have moved on. You might have like a solid core group of friends here, or I don't know. And they're very protective of you. I feel like they could be very protective of you, where like these are good friends. These are the kind of people that are like, you said what? You did what? No, he's not coming around. No, he's not invited. Like, it's that kind of thing. No. And they're really providing you quite a bit of cover here so that you can like manifest. If this is you, again, switch the energies if you need to. This person is like stuck on the past. They're feeling anxious. They're going over things in their mind. This is either their past, because again, if there's no past history between you and this person, then somebody here has been hurt, and they are trying to soothe themselves by going over like, okay, well, this was messed up over here, but none of that's going on over here. Like, see, you're fine. They could be in therapy doing that. Yeah, meditating, spending time alone, so that they can emerge like this kind of better, beautiful butterfly here. But they're feeling like they can't really win. If this person cheated on you, I feel like for some of you could have been married to this person. You could have even had kids with this person. And then they had somebody, that Ace of Wands energy, that was like, ooh, sexy time. And they were like, oh my gosh, my wish come true. And then they went off with that person, but that person is incredibly undermining. And now they've gotten themselves in a position where they can't win. Yeah, they can't go after their 10 of Cups. They can't build that with you. Because I feel like this is you. You're in the Emperor energy and you're in the Strength energy. You found your strength through all of this, and you're much more strategic, actually. You're much more tactical than maybe you were in the past. And, oh my gosh, all this major arcana. Now we got this Devil energy here. You're really strong to this like devil energy, devil tactics. And it could be that this person was in devil energy in the past, but it also could be that whoever they're with is still like was then and is still in devil energy, and you don't want that anywhere near you. So I think even if it does, there'll always be a third party in your relationship. It will always be this person. Either mentally because they broke the two of you up and you're never going to forget it, even if you wanted to, okay? It's just the way your mind works. Like when you think of this person, you think of that other person, and you think, because that was probably the strongest energy that occurred between the two of you. And so you don't think about all the little tiny moments. You think about the big trauma explosion. Of course you do. That's just the way your mind works. And so, but it also could be that this person has kids with them now. And so they're always going to be this like third wheel in your relationship. Can you go on that vacation? I don't really feel comfortable with you leaving the state. Can you do that? I don't really like, I just don't think you want problems. I just don't think you want problems. And this person brings problems. This third party, there's always going to be a third party. Even if this person manages to like divorce them, this is somebody who will never let them go. This is somebody who is like never going to mind their own business. They're always going to be sneaking around. They're always going to be trying to point the finger at you, make you the bad guy, over stupid stuff like, you didn't pack, they were missing one sock, like when the kids came back to my house or something. It's like little tiny piddly bullshit, this person made their bed, so let this person deal with that. That's for them. They got what they wanted. That's for them. Let them worry about the socks. Kind of a thing. They feel like they have a hard time communicating. My friends are all in the spirit realm. Yeah, this person, they could have gone through a recent ending in their life. And for some of you that you don't have a history with this person, but they've kind of been, I feel like it's good. If this person's just come off of the divorce, remember what I was saying? Like a lot of people just say you should not date somebody who is going through a divorce because they might not actually follow through with it. And you don't want to be involved, right? Or be a pawn in their game. Like they need to clean up their mess. There needs to be like a nail in that coffin. There needs to be an equilibrium established, like, those kinds of things. But if this person is the one going through a divorce and they actually, or some kind of major ending like that, and they're actually taking time to heal and to make sure their kids are in some kind of stable situation and that they, then I feel like that's actually probably very promising. Like for some of you, this really could be somewhere, especially if you don't have a history with this person. They've never like broken your heart specifically in the past, but they're just realizing I'm a little sore and I'm a little scared to do this again. And they're actually like honoring that it's a big deal to drag somebody into this, and that they need to make sure they're stable. I feel like this person really is trying to heal after their divorce. They really are. Yeah. And they also could be something here. There's some kind of message about some kind of toxic relationship that they were in the past, that they were completely blinded to. They were in some kind of like fantasy energy about, and it had them pointing the finger at the wrong person. And it could have been them. So for some of you, like this divorce, it could have been that their partner like lied on them or accused them of something. And so they're really like shell shocked by that experience. But also this, if you do have a history with this person, then it could have been that happened to you. And they're realizing, oh my gosh, like, there was a lie here, and then like, I was pointing the finger at this person. That's why you protect the boundaries of your relationship. And that's why you have healthy I have a hard time communicating. That's why you have healthy communication between you and your partner. So if somebody's like, pss, 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 you walk right up to them to their face and say, I heard this about you. What of it? And this person, why couldn't this person do that? Afriglen, thank you so much for the super chat. A coffee for Alex too. Have a wonderful year. Thank you for everything. Oh, you're welcome. Thanks. We get to have another round of coffees, babe. Have you been seeing this in the comments? Alex really likes that coffee too. Anyways. Okay, so what else are they saying? I feel like they could be getting advice or guidance from this like king-like figure. So again, it could be somebody who has like, it could be a therapist. It could be somebody that they really trust in their life and that they really look up to. This person could have felt like they made a bunch of sacrifices in this relationship that they were in order to sustain things. They also felt like they couldn't listen to reason. because I think they were in a relationship with a narcissist, and that narcissist was like, don't listen to truth, facts, or reason. You will only believe the things that I tell you, because I'm going to ruin everyone's credibility and reputation around you. I'm going to feed you the bullshit I want to feed you. I'm going to make you doubtful. You should always, if there's a person like that in your life that's like, everybody's lying except for me, you should always look directly at that fucking person and do it sooner rather than later. You're welcome. That's some help. That is some solid gold advice right there. But yeah, I feel like this person was just not allowed to. And I feel like they always had to make sacrifices in this relationship that they were in. And it really wounded them. And so somebody here is like helping them mend like their wound here, where they had to like make these sacrifices. And I think it's God, to be honest. But I also think it's God has put somebody here in like this person's life. Nor, hi, thank you. Adding to the coffee fund jar. Happy last Friday live of the year. Looking forward to a beautiful shift in the messages of 2025. Thank you, Jess and Alex. Me too. We are going to have so much coffee. We're going to have coffee until they pull those specials from the menu. Yeah. So what else is this person saying? They don't know what to do, because they love you a lot, but they feel like they need help. I feel like this person's praying a lot. So like we're talking about what they're saying. I feel like they're talking a lot to God, and they're praying a lot to God. And they're saying, I am isolated right now. And also look, there's this nasty energy lurking in the background. And this energy, I really dislike this energy so much, because they act like they're fun and fancy free, and they act like they are, but they're evil and nasty, and like, ugh, it's like they try to come off in like an exact opposite energy than what they actually are. And it's like, I'm so playful. Like, come over here. And it's really they're like the devil itself with like horns and hooves and stuff, and so this person is like, look, I've isolated myself from the devil. I don't frolic over there anymore. I'm out of that kind of situation. I am isolated. I have so much love for this person, but I feel like I need a win here. I need a win in order to like bring forward this. Yeah. Yeah, they just see you in such power. And I don't know if they think that there's somebody else around you that is actually like the king of your heart. King of my heart, body and soul. Oh, and all at once, you are the one I have been waiting for. King of my heart. So I feel like that's what they want. But also, I feel like this is you. Like, I think you are the emperor. This is the second time this came out. But there's a lot of fire energy here. And there could be other options, like a Leo and an Aries maybe. But you might not even be looking at those options, because I think you're feeling very independent. And I think you are also at a crossroads, and you're like, I don't know which way to go. Maybe for some of you, this person did reach out. But now I'm seeing in Emma, because you guys know I'm obsessed with that movie, but Mr. Knightley is like trying to propose to Emma. And he's like, I can't make speeches. If I loved you less, then I might be able to talk about it more. Like, I feel like that's the way that this person, yeah. They have these two things. And they've kept something here secret. So I don't know if they kept you secret. But it's all out of defense here as well, too. Okay. Let's see. What else are they saying? Get some actual message cards here. They're saying. What do they want to say? I'm feeling overwhelmed. Okay, so first of all, I feel like there could be 3 separate people here. Like, one could be a Leo, one could be an Aries, and for some, there's a person here from your past. Like, so I think this could apply to a lot of different people. And I don't know if I think this is a group that has options. Like, there's more than one person here. And so maybe you're actually feeling overwhelmed, like potentially by your options. And even if these people haven't like declared themselves, because these 2 fire energies are very secure within themselves, I don't think that they've come forward yet. So those could actually be the people that are like, one could have gotten their heart broken in the past, and they're like, I need to take time to heal. I want to come forward. And they're just kind of looking for their opening from the divine, like when it's like the appropriate time. Another one of these people might know something about your past, and they're, again, waiting for their opening. And then I think there's still that energy kind of like lurking here from something from your past. So take this however it is resonating. But I still think that you might be feeling overwhelmed by these choices, even if they're not coming forward. Because at least I think you can feel the attention, or you can feel energetically that there's like a lot of focus on you, even if you don't like necessarily know where it's coming from. I want to see you so bad. This person is having like a lot of sexy time feelings towards you, but then I think these 2 new people especially, it's like their heart is in it. They're not just going to have the sexy time experience and not also have their heart in it. They know that that's inappropriate, either for them or for you. They know that that's not what they want. That's not what is appropriate here. So that's why they're biding their time. They're not trying to jump into a sexual experience with you without doing like the hard work. Look, I'm ready. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm ready, but then, but I have a hard time communicating. Yeah. I feel you are wife husband material. I knew it. Like, these people are serious. They're in some serious energy, but they also know that you are in a good place and they don't want to disturb that. Your kindness has changed my life. I'm having wild thoughts about you. And then look, this is like the X energy. I am who I am. Love will keep us together. There is somebody that does not want to let this person go. And I think that's true of these new people as well. Oh, somebody's at the door. They are, yeah, there's stragglers here to these people. But these two new people, I think, are much stronger in their energy. They're very well put together. They're heart-centered people. They don't play games and stuff. So I don't think that they appreciate this energy from their past. Like, they don't like it. But that person is like determined to stay relevant in their life. I'm planning on calling you soon. So some of you might be hearing from this energy. I find you interesting. They might literally want to chat and get a coffee. You feel my... Okay, so it's hard for me. They all want to say similar things to you. So just only listen to the voices that you want to hear. If you don't want anybody back from your past, there's like, I think 2 other people here. So you don't have to go back to your past, okay? But they want to shower you with compliments. They want to tell you how interesting you are. They want to tell you that they find you really creative, that they see that you are satisfied within themselves. And this is a person who finds that, I just heard that is damn attractive. Like, this person finds it really, really attractive that you are not a game player, that you're not out trying to like Machiavellian, like everything. You're just focused on yourself and creating like a wish fulfillment. There's something here about like a beach energy or like, they find that to just be really, really attractive. They want to have a conversation with you. This person genuinely likes you. They want to be your friend first and foremost. And then they want to kind of slowly transition that friendship in a way that feels comfortable to both of you, more and more towards a relationship. However, they don't have a plan in their mind about it. They're like, however that kind of like comes about, we'll just kind of take it as it goes. But this person's gonna be very considerate of you. Especially, I'm kind of zeroing in on these newer energies. They're gonna be very considerate of you, and they do know where they want this to end up, but they know that they need time and you need time. This is actually a really good energy that's coming in. I want to be more than friends. I knew it, but they want to be your friend first. They want to hold your hand. I just saw, I don't know, they want to hold your hand. So it's like, they do want to be friends, but they don't want to put too much pressure on you, or they don't want to put too much pressure on the situation. Okay, so I think this is funny because this came out. I only believe in science and facts. I feel you're unpredictable. I actually think this is your energy, and I think that I only believe in science and facts is like put up or shut up. You know, it's like very much that. I don't want to hear this. I just want you to show up. If you are a kind person, then show up and be a kind person. If you are a kind person, I'll be the one to tell you you're a kind person. Other people around you are going to tell me that you're a kind person. It's not going to be your propaganda machine having to tell me that you're a kind person, right? Like, just show up and be decent, and I'm going to know that you're a kind person. Like, I just heard you say, like, I just really can't stand that. Like, when people are like, no, I'm really kind. And it's like, why is there carnage, like, everywhere around you? You know, and you feel that they're unpredictable. And I think you feel relationships are unpredictable. I think that you've been tricked in the past. You've had the rug pulled out from under you. This person sees that. But they are thinking forever. They're willing to take it slow. They are willing to let you kind of sniff around them. You know, to be like, I don't have anything in my sleeves. Like, I'm not trying to trick you. I'm not trying to yank that rug. We can get rid of all the rugs in the house if you want. We can have no rugs if you want. Like, if that's going to be a trigger for you. This is actually really sweet. I find you interesting. This person really does find you interesting. You found out something about me. So maybe, I think this person's actually hoping that you find out something about them so that you can kind of like start a conversation. This person, okay. Whoa. So what I just saw was, oh man, okay. That was very sexual, what I just saw in my mind. So they definitely are thinking about that. But it's like they want you to be everything at your pace. They want you to initiate it. Not because they're scared to initiate, but it's like they just want you to find out something about them or just kind of hear something. And so you can start some kind of small talk. And then that's like kind of their entrance in. Okay, I kind of want to tell you what I saw. You know, like your first time doing the thing. There's different strategies. And I feel like this person's strategy to that is to let you get on top so that you can take things at the pace that you need to take things. That's what I saw in my mind. So the sexual experience between the two of you, this person's like, we'll do it when you're comfortable doing it. And if you need to start and stop, that's fine. Like, this person's very patient. This person, I really like this person a lot. Okay, invite me to the wedding. I'm getting lost in the memories. I don't trust you. Yeah, okay, so this person knows it. I feel like there's like wounding here. They know that. And they also understand it, and they know that you're not trying to be that way. And they also see that you're trying, you know, you're a great friend. I do feel there's an energy that wants to trap this person though. And I think, you know what's weird is I feel that that's your trauma, is that being with people that don't have boundaries and people that have led other people on in order to get what they want. And then those people end up being like a problem in your dynamic, in your relationship. And you're just around weak men. They just said that. Ooh, I just like felt that. And I felt that in places. You've been around weak men. Like that's what I'm hearing this person say. You've been around weak men. I'm going to show you that you've been around weak men. That's what this person's going to show you. And they're so secure in themselves, this person. They're just really, and they know that they're a good person. They know that they're well-intentioned, and they know that they might mess up and that you might mess up, but they have every, not in those big kind of ways. This is a nice energy. But I do feel there's somebody trying to like lock this person down, but I kind of feel like this person's going to be the one to show you what it looks like when a man holds a boundary. I feel like this person's saying that. I'll show you what it looks like to hold a boundary. I miss being around you. I feel there's too much competition. Ugh. Yeah, this person from this person's past is very emotionally manipulative, and I think that they thought that this person was very sweet. And so this person that's like in the background is it's a pity play. I miss being around you. I need my like strong man, kind of thing. So I think they got baited into that in like some kind of rescuing energy. Yeah. And I think this person's going to be like, I miss being around you. I feel like there's too much competition, like once you're in the picture, because they want them to kind of kick you to the curb. But I feel like this person's like subtle with their manipulation. But I feel like this person is done letting them have control over their lives. I really think. I'm confused. I'm falling in love. So I feel like they're going to confuse the person from their past because they're falling in love with you. And, but I don't think that they're going to scream that they're gray rocking this energy from their past. They're not fawning all over about you. I feel like they're actually very mum about you and about your relationship, but they're falling in love. And I think their partner, because they're not like gushing about you and like rubbing it in their face, they're kind of thinking that they still have more control over this person than they actually do. But really this person's moved on and they're like completely hardened their energy to this other person and they don't care about them. They actually care about you. So they're confusing their partner from their past. I think that if you let me, I'll take care of you. This is so sweet. This is so sweet. And this person is dead ass too. Like this person is dead ass serious about it too. This person, you know what they're serious about? And I think that this is what they like about you. And I think this is what you will grow to trust and what you will grow to like about them. They're the captain of their own ship. They don't get emotionally manipulated. And if they can spot that somebody has been trying to do that, it's like they're dead to them. It's like, ugh. Like once they see it, they're like, no, I don't want it around me. And they're very matter of fact about it. And it's, yeah. And this person sees that in you as well. But this is a caretaker person, but it's not performative and it's not shallow. This is a great person. This is a really good catch. And they see that in you as well. I miss being around you. I wish you wouldn't push me away. I just keep seeing this person with their hands stretched out. Like they're I can't even describe what I'm seeing. This is so sweet. I'm afraid to get close to people. You know what? I think this person is too. Like on some kind of level, they are, because of the way that they were kind of taken in by the ex. I feel that, but it's not like kind of in their nature to be afraid, but they get it. They get you. And I kind of feel like this person wouldn't trust somebody who's not at least a little guarded, because they think they're probably stupid or not paying attention or that they haven't had enough life experience. Because this person's very aware that life isn't always what it seems and people are not always what it seems. And it actually comforts them, whether they know it or not. And I think that's the same of you. It actually comforts them that you're a person that can see that. And that you are, because it also feels like the two of you can have very honest conversations about your feelings and about like what it is that you think that you might be seeing in another person. And none of you are like jumping to conclusions. It's like, okay, well, we'll keep an eye on it. And it feels very much like the two of you are in this partnership energy, and that you don't do the rug pulling out even to other people, but it's very much like you hear each other. And this person feels like they can have that with you, because obviously this is a reading about what they're saying about you. And I feel like they're describing this maybe in their journal, maybe to themselves, maybe to a therapist. It's like, this person has all the traits that I want, because they kind of like that you have real life experience, and also that you didn't shy away from it, that you weren't in a delusion, you weren't lying about it, you weren't weak to it and like got walked all over. This person likes you and they like your perspective, and that's on a lot of different things too. This person really likes talking with you. I think this person really likes to get you out and away. So I'm literally, and beaches might be tied together, but also I saw that movie Beaches, remember, with Bette Midler. Remember that movie Beaches? It's like so sad. So they could have lost somebody, I just got goosebumps. Yeah. This person's hurting. This person has had a major loss. And it feels like they could have gone through a divorce or something. They've gone through an ending, but they've also like taken time to heal, and it softened them and it made them realize what's actually important. And I feel like this person likes to, they savor the simple things, and that's what they feel like they can have with you. And maybe that's not the same with their partner. Maybe it was always like the big things, the big flashy things. They were there for the good days and not the bad days, kind of a thing. But this person likes that the bond between the two of you is like the simple things. You like that you can hold hands. You like that you can trust each other. You like that nobody has done something super fucked up to the other person. And that's the thing that you want to both protect. Is I like going out to the beach and having little finger sandwiches and talking to you about life, or watching you doodle your little poems, or like whatever. I love that. I want these moments. I don't care what the rest of our lives look like. As long as I can have these moments with you, that's what I want. This person feels calm in your energy. And I think this is also a group where you guys can be silent together and it's comfortable. Like it's just really comfortable. I want to get back together. Their ex really wants them back. But in this person from your past, like really wants to get back together, because if this, and I know that a lot of you guys are over it. And like I said, I think you've got two other options here. Or one really solid option. You've got really good choices here, because it was the Strength card and the Emperor card. Major Arcana, fire sign energy, leadership energy. This person's going to be the leader in your relationship, like this new person. But if this is somebody from your past, again, I think all this stuff maybe, I'm hearing it's too little too late, but and they might be afraid of that here as well. And they know that you probably have other options, because this person's like, oh my gosh, this person is everything. But I think that they also have had experiences that have like really softened them up and made them realize what's actually important. And they realize that it's you, like you embody those things. But again, it might be a little too late for this other person, and you do have these other options, but they miss you. And they feel stuck. And I think they might be getting their karma, like in regards of you, because now you're all that they want, and like now they're stuck. But yeah, these two other people also have exes that are trying to get them back, because they are a really good catch. I've liked you for a really long time. Wow, you're beautiful. Yeah, so these new people could have liked you for a really long time, but again, they're calm and they are responsible and they're measured. And I think that some of these people have responsibilities, like they could be in leadership positions in work, or they are trying to achieve a certain goal, or maybe they do have kids that are relying on them, or they have people that rely on them in general. And so I think this person is just being very calm, and they want you to hear something about them, and they want that to start and they're praying. And it could have to do with a house move. And they're praying that you start a conversation with this person. Yeah. They might even pray that you move to them. Yeah. And for some, they might feel that that's like fair or balanced. Because they made some kind of change that they needed to, which was probably getting rid of this nasty ex. But yeah, this is really nice. This person's saying good things. And I think that they think a lot about this. They pray a lot about this. They could journal a lot about this. This person could I'm seeing somebody make a mixtape, like a mixed CD tape, maybe where they put songs that they want to give to you, or songs that make them think of you. Or maybe for some of you, this does go way back, like way back when you guys were making mixtapes for each other. I just heard me and her go way back, like Cadillac seats. Body like a back road. I knew it. There's something about butts. There's you got a big butt, a big old booty. There's a big butt in this. Or they like your backside, like the way you look from behind. Sorry. Yeah. I feel peaceful now. I feel calm. And I feel like this person's giving me a sense of their energy, because they're just here. They're like present. They're very open. They'll respect any decision that you make, but this person respects you and admires you, and they just hope something can come of this, even if you're not ready now. But this person's like, I think I'm at the beginning stages of ready. So if you're ready now, I'm ready now. Because they can also, remember, I keep seeing you in this Nine of Cups energy where you're peaceful and you're doing your own thing, and they don't want to take that away from you. And yeah, it's just, they're going to go at your own pace here, so. I have an Ozempic butt right now. Araceli, thank you so much for the Christmas super chat. It really made my day. He did have a thing for my bum back then, but it's not cute anymore. They might beg to differ, okay? Maybe this person's gonna you're being like, oh, it's not the same. And this person can be like, it's still hot, you know, kind of thing. I don't want that. I love the good old days of mixtapes. And that was an A for effort right there. Sitting by the radio trying to catch songs. Don't you remember that? And then even if you wanted to like record it and you came in like right after the beginning and you're like, no. All right. It all starts with an honest, truthful, forthcoming conversation. Yeah. And that's like, for some of you might be interested in this person from your past and like taking them back. But also like, even this new person has ways in which they want to be open and honest. I think they know their ex is a bit much to deal with and they're never going to go away and they're never going to. So I think they might try to hide you from that ex and they might tell you that. Like, I think it's just best that we don't, because this person is a certain kind of way and I don't want them quick stalking you on all of your profiles. I don't want them, because, you know, they're very underhanded. They might create fake accounts to harass you online, or they're just, you know, I don't know what this person's capable of is what I'm hearing, but I want to protect you from it as much as possible. And it might be hard for you to trust that, especially if you've had exes that lied to you in the past. Like, that's too convenient. You know, this person kind of knows that. They don't know how to like broach this topic, you know, because I do think there's a truth coming through to this. And I wouldn't personally be open to somebody from your past that maybe chose this crazy person over you and then expect now you have to deal with crazy. I don't think so. Like, for me, that's a hard pass. That would be a hard pass. I know you're frustrated when you say some of you might want your ex, but you know what? Like, I think there's better options for you, but I also respect your decision. It's your life. I know some people, they really have strong feelings for certain people. And I understand that. And your life is your own, but there are really good options here. I think there's two that you might want to, and don't play with these people as well. Cause I don't even want to tell you like, you know, maybe you want to explore like these other options. They don't want to be played with. These people are serious about you. And they want you to they like you because you're going to treat them a certain way. And I think that you should live up to that. Like, don't become like this ex, you know? All right. So cool. I feel like that's what I have for pile 2. So many people don't settle. Let's talk about the new options, please. We've been talking about them. I left a group chat. Nice. Okay. So let's go back to the selection board here. If you're just joining us, we just finished pile number 2, which is the king. So we already did the kairos, we did the king, and now we're moving on to the stone. We're moving on to the stone. This is medicine for the soul. Sarah said new good options haven't shown up for me yet. But you know what I said in pile number 2 is that some of you, they might not be making their move, but like some of you, I think this person's like watching you, or they had to like close out something. There was some kind of major ending, and it could be that they lost a parent. It could be that they're going through a divorce, but that they're actually taking time to like heal. And so they haven't made themselves known to you yet. But for some, they could already be in your life kind of watching you, or they could be just around the bend. I just heard, new energy, like in the new year, maybe. Where's the options? Well, don't take it if it doesn't resonate for you. If you feel like you don't have any options, then maybe you don't. They like you because you're going to treat them a certain way. Growth and discernment changes standards for good. I agree. All right, so shall we do pile 3, the stone? Let's compassion for a moment, shall we? We're going to compassion. I'll get a little drink and put some gloss on. And then we'll go into pile 3. Gray stone time. Yee yee. Sorry if this is just dead-ass silence. Do you guys hear that in my throat? Throat chakra energy. It went like, sometimes like in your throat goes like, wow, like the air like moving around. Like that's what just happened to me. So I don't know if that's a synchronicity for anyone. Throat sounds, throat singing, medicine bowls, maybe. I don't know. Okay. Pile number 3. I don't want to use that again, but pile number 3. What are they saying about them? Hold on. I don't know which deck I want to use. Okay. hold on. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this is all messed up. Hold on. All right. Pile number 3. Actually, I do want to use this one. All right, pile number 3. What is pile number 3's person saying about them? Okay, I don't know if I'm not getting new energy. I want new energy. Sorry, okay, so whoever this person is that's trying to come through, we need some new energy from you. Even if that is like your truth, like let's get some new energy than the other piles. Okay, the 10 of Swords has come out twice now. It came out in that deck and now it came out in this deck here. So there's been some kind of painful ending. And then we do have this stone energy. But it's kind of like, kind of like, I don't know what to do kind of a thing. I feel like this person, because I'm seeing like somebody being in a cave and like somebody rolling this stone in front of the cave, you know, and this person's kind of like stuck in the cave. So maybe this person feels like they're in timeout and we had indecisive at the bottom. I know my inability to make a decision hurts you. Mistakes. I wish I could right my wrongs. So this person could have been torn. They could have not made a decision. So what they're saying is that they should have made a decision and that they prolonged making a decision and that ended up hurting you. And I think it ended up like ending the relationship here in some way. What are they saying? Or you can always flip the energies in this. So maybe for some of you did that to them. Yeah. Okay, there's a lot of apology energy that's coming through here in these piles. But I think this person is saying they couldn't make a decision, so you moved away. Yeah, you've definitely moved on here from the situation. So what are they saying about you? That you're the Empress. So this person's speaking very highly of you. They think that you're very creative. You have a lot of ideas. This person is maybe talking about some of your ideas. I think there's not a lot of talking energy even coming through from you. And they're wondering about what's in your head. What kind of beautiful things are in your head. What kind of things that you think about. There's a genuine interest here. This person thinks that you're very beautiful. They like your face. They like your lips. They like your jawline. This person feels like an idiot for juggling you. They feel stupid they always go back to this indecisional energy when it comes to you. Okay, so they could have I don't know why I'm getting this. Okay, yeah. Ooh, I just felt something in my ears. This person could have been making fun of you in the past. They could have been making fun of like the way that you dressed or like you feeling sad or whatever. And what you had to offer, they could have devalued that here in their mind. I don't think they did that to your face, but they are seeing you as the Empress now. I feel like you were always this energy, but it's because they couldn't take responsibility here for something here in the past. And there was something that you didn't see about a feminine energy that was giving them money, or they were giving them goods, or this feminine energy was giving them something. And because of that, it's what kept them tied to this other energy over here. What's going on over here? Okay, so it could have been, it's a friends group here. This is weird. Okay, I don't know what kind of a setup this is, but it seems like there's a feminine energy that was giving them money to like party or to be independent, to go on their own. This could have to do with a child, like maybe child support. Nikki, thank you so much for the super chat. Much love, Chaos Coven. But again, I don't think that you saw this clearly. I also don't think that whoever this was that was giving them money saw you, like this situation with you, clearly. But they need to take responsibility and clean up their act is what I'm getting. So for some, this could be a mom. Maybe this is a person who had like an allowance or something. And they are, You couldn't see this clearly. And what they needed to do is take responsibility and clean up their own act. I'm getting that. So this decision, it's like, it looks like choosing you or choosing a partying lifestyle or to remain like codependent on this other person. But I think it's deeper than that. It's choosing to take themselves seriously, because I actually think this person was projecting out a lot on you. So when in the past, when they were saying that this is you, and I always notice, like, I don't know if you can tell, but her dress like kind of looks crumpled to me. It looks like she needs somebody to come straighten her crown and to remind her who she is and everything, because this is the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is one of my favorite cards in the entire tarot. And I just don't like that she looks so sad and defeated. And she's holding like the pentacle, the emblem of like value, and like not really feeling. So this person acknowledges that they didn't see your value in the past, but I feel like when they were saying, they could have been making fun of the way that you dress. I keep getting that. Or like your clothes or something. And it's because they were actually projecting that out. I don't know, it's giving like mom was doing their laundry or something, but like actually this person never did their laundry. Like they never, I don't think that they were saying that you didn't do their laundry. I think it was like a style thing or, something here. And it could have been at a particular event, like it could have been at a particular party or something where they were making fun of that and you were just feeling kind of sad or dejected or but this person was just being enabled in some kind of way, and they thought that that was going to lead to victory, and they were involved with a snake, and whoever this is thought that they were winning. And I think that they kept this person around somehow using money or using goods. There's somebody is, you see this feminine energy, right? Like giving this masculine money. You see that, right? Like that's what's going on here. And then this is that feminine energy thinking, I'm the victor, I'm winning. But this person was with them because, not because of them, this person, like not because of what they had to offer, not because they were choosing to, but it's because they tried to stack the odds in their favor here in some way. But then the divine stepped in and flipped this snake energy on its head. So I feel like there's some kind of reckoning going on. And this is very, so I feel like you roll, I'm seeing these people here that are saying things about you, this person, and there's like maybe one or two other people here. And I'm seeing you roll this stone in front of the cave, and like they're in the cave and they're in the darkness, and they don't want you to hear certain things, but you also don't want to hear them. And so they're like, but this to me, it's giving kind of cartoonish villain where it's like, and now we're in here, now we're in this cave, and it's because you, Tweedledee and Tweedledum, were telling me that I should do this. And it's like, you know, it's a classic villain of like one hits them over the head with the hammer, and then like you see the, you know, the stars kind of fly off of their face, and it's like, I don't know, it's giving Larry, Curly, and Moe is what it's giving, you know? And they are blaming kind of everybody but themselves, but this person really ultimately was codependent on somebody here in the past. It was keeping them in a state of being impotent, and also prevented them from expressing themselves to you, and you closed yourself off. It prevented them, even if they were having some kind of conversation with you, it prevented them from being fair and balanced. It prevented them from, they should have, I just heard extortion. They should have told you about something. There was something that you were being kept from. They needed to alert you about something here as well. So this could have involved more than one person. With the Ace of Pentacles here, yeah. Wish fulfillment. This to me is almost like a love crumb. You know, like they needed to tell you about something here with the Ace of Pentacles. Something, they needed to alert you about something, because it almost looks like that person's observing that to me. Like something here, like look closer at this Ace of Pentacles. Look, you know, some kind of, yeah, something that led to your harm or your betrayal. And it could have been that somebody here was excited to see you harmed, excited to see you betrayed, excited to see you face down with all these swords in your back. They should have alerted you to this. Some kind of invitation, some kind of this. It was like a strategy, or it was a, yeah. Because they felt like something here needed to change. They needed a change of pace, change of place. And this feels like in order to betray you. In order to get you to off your guard, to just like trust, to just like take like one wrong step here. And then to get you into a position where you would lose, and that to put somebody here, somebody's betraying you behind your back, and there's justice for this that's coming out. And they're talking about the fact that there's justice. I just got pissed. I just got absolutely pissed. And I feel like you've put it together or something here, but this is wrong. Whatever's gone on here, it is objectively wrong. And you were being betrayed behind the scenes here, and the odds are being stacked up against you. They were trying to get you in a no-win situation, and then they were trying to make you feel like it was your fault. And it was somebody's dream here. It was somebody's dream here to have you, the freaking Empress here, like this. Like, oh, look at her crumpled dress. And you know why you're crumpled in your dress is because you're sad. And it's because these people are mistreating you. And it feels like there's more than one. It feels like there's some kind of collusion here. And it feels like this person just at the very least sat back and watched it happen because they were codependent on their mom, or they were codependent on whoever this person is. And they can't make their own money, or they can't stand up for what's right, or they can't just be like, if me participating in this Larry Curly Moe, Tweedledee, Tweedledum energy is what it costs to get some kind of like assistance, the cost is too high. Okay? No, I'm not going to be a part of it. There was glee. There was glee in blocking you off here, in this betrayal of you not seeing that you were not being treated fairly and you were not being considered. And you actually, there's talk about how you bossed up from this. You moved on from this and you cut this nasty ass baggage out of your life because that's what this is. I am pissed. And this is Chitra energy. So I feel like there's actually some talk about like your eyes. You're beautiful. Okay. And I don't know the way, I feel like there's a lot of jealous people here. There's at very least one jealous feminine that was trying to control people by giving them money or giving them something here in order to harm you. But it's because they know that you're the empress, and don't you forget it. So, I want to be the person to like straighten your crown and tell you that your dress is beautiful, and that the mirror, that's what this ultimately is. The mirror that these narcs and that these literal cartoon villains were trying to hold up to you is ridiculous and is not the truth. And the actual truth of you is that you're the empress, which is why they had to try to control you with like smoke and mirrors to make you feel less than. That's who these people are. But you bossed up from this, and you like Chitra in the zodiac is between like Virgo and Libra, and it's all about like the chisel of like losing a dead weight. And I'm seeing the chisel, and then I'm seeing this stone fall down and like trap these people in their own cave. And that's basically karmically what's going on here. And there's divine energy in this here as well. And I think these people are fighting amongst themselves. There's some kind of divine argument and it's purifying. But I think these people are turning on each other. And so they're talking about you, but they're saying like, well, you are Tweedledee and you are Tweedledum. You said this and you said that, because all these people actually like you. And you're the only good one. You're the only good one among them. You've heard like one rotten apple spoils the whole bunch. You're the only good apple, and there's like 3 bad apples here. So, all the bad apples are arguing amongst themselves. They're like, well, you're the bad apple because I always knew this. And they're like, well, you're the bad apple. They're all bad apples here. And they're bad actors. They're bad faith actors. They were acting in bad faith in some way and they're all turning on each other. And and that is a very purifying argument because it's helping all of them to see that they were never friends, because friendship, this is like collusion energy. It's like we all feel intimidated, because I would say that they hate you, but they actually respect you and admire you greatly. And it's just such a shame that they can't say that. And instead they're doing whatever the fuck this is. But they're all turning on each other. And this is a very purifying argument, because they're all realizing that they all wanted something with you, or they all wanted your attention, or they all thought actually very highly. And everybody's like, well, I was persuaded to be shitty because of this. No, honey, you were shitty on your own. That's you, baby. And something here, it's like there's some kind of accident that I feel like occurred in this space. It was an accident. I'm hearing that. It was an accident. What was an accident? King of Wands, Star card. It was an accident. I'm just here, like something here. They're trying to say that it was an accident, and it's just a lack of accountability energy. What actually happened? They were waiting for their ships to come in, and then like some kind of obstacle was put in the way. They wanted some kind of quick result. So they did something here, and it was impulsive. It was intentional. It was also wrong. And they thought that it was going to have a different effect than it actually did. And then boom, that was you being like, you saw it for exactly what it was, I think. And you just chisel. And then this stone like fell down. These people are trapped. I'm hearing 3 voices distinctly, and they're like, pss, 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 pss. Well, I just, pss, 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 pss. And they're like, well, then now all of a sudden it's an accident. And the only reason they're saying it's an accident is because it did not work the way that it was supposed to work. But this was a plan. It was intentional. I do think there was something about it that was rushed or was like opportunistic, but it wasn't an accident. So this person or these people like to conflate. Yes, it was opportunistic, but it was an accident. It wasn't an accident. It was karma. What it was karma. Yeah, and so now this Queen of Swords energy here, this nasty feminine comes again. Just looking at your transformation and observing and wanting to cut it down. They want to try to cut it down with a truth, or at the very least some kind of bent truth or some kind of false truth, but they cannot do it. And I feel like there's divine energy, because I'm seeing this rainbow energy coming in and grabbing this sword. Something about it, like grabbing something here, it's like rainbow. So whatever that means to you, like, rainbow, it's like the sign of like after the storm, like, everything's going to be like much better. But I feel like this is divine intervention on your behalf, because they wanted to end something for you. And I think they also wanted to end this blockage. What do they want to end for you? You walking away. So they wanted to end you walking away here. So it's a very controlling person. And I do think that there are the three stooges, like the goon kind of energy that I'm picking up on. They seem like flying monkeys. They really do. Like for this feminine energy. Oof, this person might feel like their security is impacted, because this is the 10 of Pentacles. So it could feel like they have something to gain or profit off of like having you around for some reason. But it also could have to do with like their reputation. Like if you walk away, then it might ding their family business, or it might put like something in their routine. This person could be, for some of you, this is so specific, only take this if it resonates. For some, this could be your mom that was like paying people to try to become this King of Pentacles. Like maybe to try and like become like your family. Try to stick it together through some kind of violent, underhanded means or something. Through partying. Oh my gosh, this is so specific. This could have been your mom trying to get people to like impregnate you to keep you stuck and under their control. And this person's like a plant on their side. And then it ended up like pushing you away. But it doesn't have to be that. That's so specific. But this could even be like your mom paying a friends group or something to turn on you. Or they're giving them something. They could be just feeding them information and lies about you. And like this 9 of Pentacles energy. Your independence, your something here. They put a target on your back. Somebody here put a target on your back. And it was strategic. There was some kind of long-term plan associated with this to keep you stuck, to keep you trapped. In their manipulation. What is going on? Oh my gosh. I feel like we need a healing after this. Like we need a healing. We need to dip you into like holy water to get rid of like whatever these snakes are. Okay, so what are they saying? There's a lot of, this is basically cartoon villain chitter chatter. Everybody in the cave, you've blocked them off. But really it was your natural reaction to them scheming around. They wanted to make you, this is evil. This is absolute evil. You're in sovereign territory. So now they are, I feel like there's a lot of blame because it's like, who pushed this person away? But really, it's their own actions. And now you're free. Or you will be free shortly. You put distance between you and them. You're healing. You're interesting. You're different. You are different because whatever this plan was, this scheming, this manipulation, it didn't work on you because you're actually different than what these people thought that you were or what people were told that you were. You're actually different than that. And so they're observing your transformation, but it's like, this was always a part of you. Like, it's just, Knight of Swords. There's been an argument. They're all arguing. I feel like everybody's arguing, but it's all because they're shitty people and none of them can admit to the fact that they're A, somebody's flying monkey, that B, they should have never, if they were a good person or if they were led by decency and morals and the right thing, they would have never involved themselves like in whatever this is to begin with. And they can't face that about themselves. So instead they're arguing about piddly little shit that went wrong. That's what it is. It's very Tweedledee, Tweedledum. It's very much like, well, if you hadn't pulled the lever, then I wouldn't have walked through the door and the anvil wouldn't have fallen on my head. And it's like, ew. They were waiting on for some kind of plan, some kind of relationship plan. To make you cry, some kind of, I don't know, there's sexual strategy here. There's a tower moment energy. There is teamwork energy to put you in, to get you seen in a different light is what I'm hearing. Possibly by a decision maker with the King of Swords. They wanted somebody to cut away from you Or they wanted to have like the fact that you cut away from these nasty people. They wanted that to be framed in a different light. They wanted you to be framed as like competitive. They wanted you broken. They wanted you sad. They wanted you anxious. And they wanted to continue their functioning dysfunction. I think spirit stepped in. I think you've been praying. I think that you have bossed up. You've learned what you needed to learn from this. And I think what you needed to learn is to embrace your Aquarian side. Like I'm hearing what's different about you will set you free. Okay. And for some of you, that's the rainbow, because you could have, okay, so if you are like LGBT, then you need to get away from like your family or like whatever traditional thing this is. And those people are the friends that you need to have your back. I just got goosebumps when I said that. To like have your back and to tell you like, no, this is a functioning dysfunction. Like, that's just for some. But for others of you, it's this, the rainbow energy is this tumultuous storm I think you had to weather on your own. You cut away from that. And then wherever you moved off to was this rainbow after the storm. And that was like this divine energy that was like, you never have to go through that again. You are fully blocked. The fact that you've blocked these people is supported by the divine. It is supported. These people are trapped in a cave of darkness of their own making. It's reminding me of the Cave of Wonders in Aladdin. 10,000 years in the Cave of Wonders ought to chill him out. Yeah, and it's because they wanted phenomenal cosmic powers, right? Or they messed with phenomenal cosmic powers. Itty bitty living space. So I feel like for a lot of you, these people have had to move into some kind of itty bitty living space. That could have been what they tried to do to you, or they were being disrespectful. They're being disrespectful. This is huge disrespect. And they wanted you to try to see something different. Manipulation, and they wanted to try to stall you in some way, and they wanted there to be judgment energy about you. They wanted to change the way that you were seen in order to like have your very healthy habits. They wanted to change the way that was seen to try to get you to take their cup, their nasty cup. Because no healthy, sane person who is just dealing in the truth would ever take that cup or would ever think that it's like the best cup. But they tried to put so much at you. And for some of you, this is on an energetic level. They tried to put so much at you. They tried to destroy you. They tried to, and they wanted you to think that it was God. They wanted you to think that it was the universe. They wanted you to think that it was natural consequence, like the things that were going on. And it's not. These are evil people, but they're getting their comeuppance as well. Yeah. There's some kind of divine judgment where it's like they thought that you were going to walk away from something here, but then it turned on them or something here like that. So what are they saying? There's argument energy. They're saying that you broke the mold in some way. So you could have broken free from your chains, but also these are people that could have done this to people before, and you broke the mold. You didn't behave in the way that they thought that you were going to behave, or you didn't behave the way that other people did whenever they did this. Who are these people? Commitment. I want you to be a part of my future. Yeah, they're going to make you be a part of their future. Escape. I left when things got hard. Inseparable. Our love is always there despite the distance. I think this is what they wanted you to think. They wanted you to think that you were running, and it was an unhealthy thing. Like that you are inseparable and your love is always there despite the distance, and that you were just running away and that you just left when things got hard. Instead of looking at that and being like, it's a bag of idiots and they are trying to sabotage me and I'm always going to be better off without that energy in my life. Anybody would be. They were trying to paint that. I'm literally seeing a painted rock in my mind. It's reminding me of a comedy bit where somebody was like, yeah, I went to like this state fair and people were literally selling painted rocks as pets or something like that. And they were like, I mean, we're not even trying anymore. Situationship. Habits. I don't know if we will ever change. Confusion. I feel unclear about where we stand. So these people are all like arguing about each other. They have habits here. And so spirit has isolated them with each other. So it's like, take a look at yourself. I think a lot of these people hate each other and they're turning on each other, and they can very clearly see like, well, you're an idiot and you are angry and you are doing this to this person in this way. I can see that about you, but I'm not like that. And I can see that about you over here, that you're doing this, but I'm not like that. Everybody has that viewpoint of the other person where they have each other's cards, basically. And they don't really respect one another, and they all just want what they want. And I think that all these people involved in this, because I think they want you, all of them. They strategically actually want you, and they just feel like they have to tolerate these people, and that's their best chance of actually getting you back. And maybe that was what I was saying about the indecision. Like, they should have actually separated themselves from this person, and they should have alerted you to the fact that something here was going on, and to like look closer at this person, look closer at this new beginning that they're trying to offer you, and block it. Unfinished business. We still have things to resolve and discuss. They wanted you to feel confused, but I think now they are. Holding back. I should have expressed myself better, but they're hiding something. Like, look, she's got that behind her back. Mistakes. I wish I could right my wrongs. Neglected. I failed to give you what you need. So I do think this person is like one of these people, one of these bag of bad apples here. And they could be having some kind of awakening, but it feels like they're having this awakening in isolation. And they're like with these other people too. Like, they're stuck with these other people because it's a mirror reflection. They're all mirrors of each other. Being away from you has allowed me to gain clarity. And I wish I could right my wrongs, basically. And they've had to be with these other people that they don't like. And I think there could be like a bad habit, and it could be socially a bad habit. It could be unappreciated. I felt like you didn't care, but these people didn't appreciate you. And they didn't appreciate your struggle, and they didn't appreciate how absolutely hard the energy and the stuff that they were doing to you, like the hits that they were giving to you, whatever that was, they didn't appreciate how much like they put you through. And they're like, oh, we have unfinished business. And you're like, the moment that you started beating up on me, whatever way that was, behind my back, socially, gossiping, I got my resolution. I knew everything. And that's what you have. And you're moving away from this. These people need to finish their business together. You're being excused from this. The divine, I just keep hearing that. The divine absolutely has your back on this because it was so unjust. These people are so in the wrong that it's not tolerated. This is not a Libran conversation. So I kept seeing that. Like, they put you in a position where you can't have a conversation. You can't hear these people out. But the divine is also backing you up and saying, this is not a situation where Libran energy should be applied. These people's perspective should not be considered. It's so maligned. Like, you just have to block it off. And these people need to be left, again, in the cave of wonders kind of energy to fight amongst themselves like a bag of weasels. That's like literally what I'm getting. Just these bag of weasels just like going at each other. We have too many differences. Reveal. I want to tell you the truth. These people are saying that they want to tell you the truth, but the end and the means are one. These are funny people because I feel like they'll have moments of clarity where they're like, I need to tell you the truth. I want to confess. There's some kind of like confessional energy here. I want to reveal something to you. But the end and the means are one, right? So the means, I have to get into your energy. And so I have to keep participating in this negative behavior in order to get back into your energy. That's what they tell themselves. So they keep perpetrating the drama, which is just pushing you further and further away instead of completely severing themselves from it. And I feel like this person needs to be in hermit energy to get like right with Jesus, to get their mind right. These people will never have a clear mind. They'll never be in touch with truth and what actually happened here so long as they're in conversation with each other. It's like they all keep themselves sick. Patricia, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you for helping to heal the situation, especially since they can't be honest. I guess I'm learning to defy gravity now. Yeah. And, I think that these people are confusing and they would confuse you because they have these moments of clarity, but they don't have wisdom because they're still acting out. And then they want to be like, well, yeah, I know I was acting bad, but it's because I had to get in a room with you. But whatever they did to get in a room with you, it's like so bad that it's all you can see. You're like, what? So you destroyed my show that I've been planning for months in order to get me into this room so that now I can hear you out so you can tell me your truth. I've seen your truth, okay? That is you. Nothing you could say to me would ever override what you've done. And they need to understand that. I really feel like this person needs to go hermit mode because there's one person here. I feel like they all get into this energy actually, but there's one person here who I think is like waking up faster than the others. And they're like, oh God, like these people are idiots. I don't like being associated with these people. I want to be associated with you, but like here I am. I've involved in this at a time when I needed to make a key decision and I didn't. So now I'm stuck with like this bag of idiots and they know it, but they also don't know enough to like separate themselves out and just like be in hermit mode. And I'm going to say it again, like everybody in this situation keeps themselves sick because they're mirrors to each other, and they all keep themselves in this like very negative, delusional viewpoint of themselves and their bad actions. I'm keep hearing that they're bad actors. So if these people were trying to pretend to be somebody else, they're bad actors. They don't understand that they're bad at it. They're not fooling anybody, and that you're very like onto them, or you're very well aware. Or if they're trying to trick like your inner circle, your friends or whatever, they're onto them. They just might not be saying it out loud. But these are they're kind of stupid. Like these are the kind of people that feel like if you're not being like, I know who you are, like a Scooby-Doo villain, like just unmasking they're not onto them, instead of just quietly being like, that's weird. That's not adding up. That's what they think, you know? And these are hateful, awful people. And I think they don't see themselves in that light because they're around each other. And these are people that really applaud very underhanded means. And they don't encourage each other to distance themselves from underhanded means. And it's just very negative. It's very negative. And their perspective is not to be considered at all. So, if it's unjust, then balance must be restored and karma must be served for there to be justice. And that's what karma is there for, right? Like these people have to slow down. They have to understand where they're going wrong, so then they can rejoin the chat. You know what I'm saying? And they have to have that perspective, and they have to acknowledge what they did and why it was wrong. And they need to do all of that unprompted. Unexpected outcome. Things didn't go the way I planned. That's what I'm getting. That's all they're talking about. They are like, oh, things didn't go the way I planned. And I feel like this has been on more than one occasion. And these people, instead of being like, maybe I should, literally what I just said, maybe I should stop. Maybe there's a lesson for me to learn here. Maybe I'm a bad actor. They're acting in bad faith, but also maybe they should stop putting on a mask. They're clearly not getting anywhere with it, you know? So it's like, why not? They're missing the point, which is hermit mode. They need to like reconsider something here. They're missing the point. But there is a lot of arguing, and they're arguing over what didn't go, and they're all blaming each other. And forgiveness. Cat House Boutique. Thank you so much for the super chat. That sounds interesting. That sounds like an interesting endeavor. Yeah, because their spells and plans always failed. They need to stop trying. Yeah. And this person doesn't care if you come back broken and battered and bruised, energetically, socially. They don't care if they tear down your confidence. They don't care if they tear down the things that you have chosen. They're disrespecting your sovereignty. And this could have a past life connotation as well, that you're a free being. And that's what love says, is they're a free being. If they would like to be in your life, they need to do it the right way. They also need to accept if you're going to move away from them. Because these people don't care if you come back black, blue, and beaten and tired and exhausted and worn out because you were shadow boxing them. They don't care. So long as they think that you don't know it was them. I think that you do. I think that you know exactly who these people are. I think they're bad actors. And in more ways than one. And they don't understand that as well. But they don't have actual love for you. And they've proven it in their actions time and time again. I also think this went on for way longer than it ever should have. And just them being able to harm a single hair on your head, I think shows exactly who they are. And they can say that they love you all they want. And they can say, this is the kind of delusional person that's like, I hurt you so much because I love you. Ugh, you are 1,000 times better off without this person and these people in your life. I don't care how much they think they love you. Their love is useless so long as they're with these other people as well, because they can't act on it. Their love does not translate over into the way they behave in the world. And so it's like, great, you love me. It's just that your love is not very high quality, and you loving me doesn't stop you from hurting me. So who cares? What happens if you hate a person? Do they get treated better? Because then maybe I should be seeking your hatred. Maybe you're the kind of person that I wish you hated me instead of loved me, because that would be better for me. Your love doesn't mean anything positive, so please exit. Like, all right. Yeah, cowards. And ultimately, I think that's what it comes down to, is this is cowardice. Cowardice makes people sneaky, and it makes people underhand, and it makes them feel justified in doing it because they can't just stand up for they can't just like be strong, which I think you've actually learned how to do in this if you didn't before. Because I think you showed them the way. Some of you left this toxic group already, and maybe that's why they turned on you. Because I'm seeing in Spirited, Ryan Reynolds' character, where he worked for that boss that had built that advertising company, and he's like, you have a non-compete clause, and he's like, you so fear what I'm gonna do to you with these like nasty tactics. Like, I feel like that's the energy that these people are in. You're not gonna move away from me. You're not gonna hold a boundary. You're not gonna hold me accountable for being a piece of shit. because you're so afraid of what I'm going to do because I have no control point, I have no morals, and I have no boundaries. Yeah. I truly cannot imagine what hate would look like. But can you imagine if their hatred looked like them respecting you and like leaving you alone? Because for some of you, I feel like that's like maybe the way it would go. All right. We're leaving that in the past. These people are getting their karma. They are also isolated. And it could be that more and more people are isolating these people as well. Like they don't want to be associated with them. I think some of these people have like said certain things in groups of people that have embarrassed themselves. And other people are like, whoa, like they've really kind of revealed some kind of negative mindset. It's not just a negative mindset though. It's like the fact that they attack people, the fact that they're the problem, like they have revealed that in some way. And so more and more people, I think, maybe are distancing themselves. And so these three stooges are like in that cave being like, what did you say? What did you do? What did you do? Like, you know, it's like that. All right. Be careful who you bring into your life. I dare them to come at me. I will expose it. Nice. All right. So that was pile number 3. And I'm just going to take a little tiny break and then we're going to move on to the general messages. Free Queen Z said, I used to feel unworthy to pray. But once I claimed my spiritual authority, my life changed, commanded it even. Angels love clarity. Yeah. That's so crazy that you felt unworthy to pray. That breaks my heart because I feel like I can always talk to God. People give me trouble sometimes. People give me pause, but I always feel like I can talk to God. And I always feel like I can say exactly what's on my heart because I always think that it's useless to lie to God. Like even if, I remember when I first started to really doubt Christianity and I was nervous to like just even say it out loud that I didn't think I believed anymore. Like I didn't believe that the way the church, you know, was telling me that I had to believe. But I remember like it happened in one of my religion classes in school and I always had to walk very far to get back to the free parking lot. And so it was like during that walk where I was like, it's useless to lie to you anyways, because you can see my heart. Even if I want to put on a song and dance for everybody else and act like everything's fine, it's pointless to do it to God because God made you and God is like everywhere at all times. And it also made me, I do think that God is benevolent and like all wise. So if that's the case, then God wouldn't have you grapple with certain things for no reason. I didn't think. So I just had to trust that. And ultimately, I feel it led me to deepening my relationship with God and everything. So yeah, that was like a little tidbit. I always have to remember it's such a relief when I do. I knew I needed grace and mercy too, but once I forgave myself through scripture, I felt worthy to pray. Yeah. Aw. God humbles us to a place where we must feel grateful. I prayed for years that's not working. I'm a little sus with this person. I'm just going to let you know. The energy coming off, I'm just letting you know. And I'm letting you know as well. Some of the things that you've been saying are kind of not in the spirit. And it's perfectly fine to be completely honest, but like this, I pray for years that's not working. What I would say is consider why. Like maybe you have to stop, pause, and refocus, you know? I see praying as speaking. He did ruin my show that I worked on for months after I left. Yeah, this could be the kind of person, you know, I remember Jessica Simpson's book where I think it was John Mayer. She had like this big singing gig. I think it was for the president or something. She was really nervous about it and he broke up with her on the day that she had to go sing that show. Like this could be the kind of person that does something like that. In order to change the way that you feel about yourself, in order to change the way that you're seen. It's manipulation. It's, yeah. All right, so let's do a general message. All right. The hidden truth. Oh my gosh, wouldn't you know? I always do this. I always grab for the message deck. I don't intend to. I just kind of try to let my intuition guide me. And I want to be more than friends. Okay, so this is a repeat energy. This person has already come through, I think. I look for you everywhere. We both know I'm not the one for you. Okay, interesting. I wish I could share my good news with you. I love you unconditionally. Okay, well, that was a nice little message that came in for somebody, but I'm not going to press. All right, Spirit. Okay, I'm just seeing some comments that I want to address. I want to try to shift the way that we're like looking at things. And I'm not trying to take away your feelings and like being overwhelmed and stuff, but it's like, actually, I'm not going to say anything. Okay, so Spirit, general messages. What general messages? Not connected to the reading at all, Spirit. Like, what do you want to bring through? Single, alone, isolation, lonely, and guarded. Storm warning. Upheaval, obstacle, wrecking ball, drama. I just heard count your blessings that you're single right now, because I think that you being single is keeping you from some kind of upheaval, obstacle, and drama, because I feel like there's like some kind of pattern. It's like you're uprooting that. And so the energy that you would maybe draw in, it's like they're showing me that you're kind of going through some kind of shift, and I think it's preventing you from some kind of drama here. Magnetic attraction, alluring lust, irresistible flirting. So I think they're telling me that, okay, I think what this is that this is a group that's had some kind of spiritual awakening at some point in the past, where you started to kind of shift your perspective on what's going on. And it initiated like a hero's journey or some kind of process where you've been changing your mindset, but you've been changing the way that you think about life and the way that you think about relationships. And all of this has been going on inside of you. And it's like kind of updating those things. And it is taking a while, but it's working you up to this kind of like new wavelength. And I think your guides have actually been keeping you protected, is what I'm hearing. They've been keeping you guarded while you're going through this change, because they're saying that there are people that they could bring in for you. There are absolutely people that you would feel this magnetic attraction, because a lot of you are wanting to feel that, and that's what you associate with being in a relationship. It's like that smexual chemistry. The people that you would have this smexual chemistry with now are not exactly the best kind of people for you, and they could give you that experience. It's just that you've changed, and what's changed is the dominant the priority in your energy, because yes, you do want that and they can see that, but it's no longer actually the thing that you want most. I think the thing that you want most is calm, it's peace. It is some kind of, it's like a holistic version of happiness. And so those two things are kind of like at odds with each other. And because your spiritual growth and you healing and getting to a healthier relationship kind of thing, calling in somebody that's actually healthy has become your priority, you're actually not manifesting in these magnetic attractions at this current stage. Because yes, there's a lot of people that you could have this with and that your guides could bring in, but they're keeping you guarded from it, because you would have, like, I'm seeing anywhere from a 2 to 4 year relationship. It would not be your forever person. You would be really taken with them, but it would be distracting. It would take up a lot of your time, and it would set you back in this process. And so on some level, you've made the decision to kind of hold out and wait and say, it's better for me to spend those like 2 to 4 years. I'm not saying that it's going to be 2 to 4 more years or anything like that, but it's like, I'd rather spend that time finishing this out, completing, so that the next person that I meet or actually date is like my person. They're of a higher caliber, they're of a higher quality, and I don't have to go through this whole process again where, it was distracting, it was the rush that I was looking for, is like the magnetic attraction, but the same kind of pattern played out, although in a slightly different way, or maybe it was less, but then now I got to heal again, or now I got to understand what I missed again. So they're actually like holding this out, and they're saying like, hold on, little one. Storm warning. I'm seeing this umbrella kind of like blocking or shielding you out here for the storm. The grass is greener. You deserve better is what I'm getting. And the grass isn't greener like over there. And I think you know that if they brought somebody in prematurely before you were done, like actually making this change within yourself, where you are like sustainably vibrating on some kind of a higher level, that it would create some kind of upheaval. Yeah, look, toxic relationship and the grass is greener kind of energy. So you might be learning something around like the grass is not greener. You may even have a couple that comes into your life that you see this and you see like their magnetic attraction that they have, and you're like, oh, like I really wish that I want that. But then you learn something about it where it's like you see that they're both cheating on each other or something, and their guides are trying to remind you that the grass is not always greener. For some of you, this could be a celebrity couple that you like really thought, oh, they have everything, but actually it might start to kind of like unravel what is actually going on, if that makes sense. So social media, spying, online dating, reminiscing, and networking, hookup, one night stand, intimacy. Some of you could be like looking for maybe just like a fling, instead, like just a hookup. You could be online dating, or somebody here is feels like they have unfinished business with you, and they're the ones, yeah, it's an ex-lover. Okay, so, okay. So they're saying that this person maybe used you for smegs in the past, or it was like just a hookup or something. Somebody here is looking you up online and they're reminiscing, and this person is in your energetic field right now from the past. And that's also why they're kind of keeping you tamped down, because this person's right there and like they're going to come in. Oh, there's something here about the timing where this person's throwing off the timing of potentially like opening you up, because, it's another thing for them to consider is what they're saying, your guides. That this person is lurking around your energy, whether you know it or not. So it's best for them to just kind of keep you shielded until you kind of get out of their... There's a part... I'm hearing energetic bandwidth. There's a part where your energetic bandwidth overlaps with theirs. And they're moving you to a place where it no longer does. And that's when they're going to kind of like open the door here. There's something that they're considering. Unexpected date. Third party. Proposal. Good Lord. There's something unexpected. It's still in your energy field. It's still in your auric field. There's something here that they're still like working through, and they don't want you to manifest that, basically, because you're making such good progress is what I'm hearing. You're making such good progress. You have anxiety about home. You have anxiety about belonging. You have anxiety about comfort. You feel alone about this. And that's this grass is greener energy. I think this is what they want you to confront in yourself. Can you learn how to be comfortable in this like alone state? Like the grass is greener if you're in a relationship. And I think for some of you, there's a paradox point. Like that might be actually the threshold. And I'm not telling you this so that you fixate on it in like a logical way. I know that's how it happened for me, like meeting the love of my life. I literally left my home. I moved halfway across the very large country that I live in order to be a nun. Like, I wasn't just like, I think maybe I'll be a nun. I packed my shit. I sold all my stuff. I was going to really explore that path, you know? And the irony of it was like, that's when, boom, it just like clicked me into this other thing. And I'm not saying that you have to take that extreme of measures, but I'm saying there might be a paradox point here where it's like, when you finally just settled in your soul and you do feel like completely, and I'm not trying to gamify this for you. This is why these things are hard to talk about. And I also feel like it agitates the ego whenever I talk about something like this. Emily, thank you so much for the super chat. Blessed be, I want my person, not short, distracting stints. I'm growing much more. Peace and independent sovereignty. Yes. I feel like these conversations are hard to have, even as a reader, where it's like, this is the energy. And I feel like your guides know this too. Like, this is why they don't necessarily bring these messages forward, because it can agitate the ego, and then the ego can kind of gamify it. Like, okay, well, this is like this arbitrary line that I have to like kind of cross. It's not about that. It's about this kind of change from within. And they're working with you and they're never working against you. And they don't want to preoccupy your mind with like, okay, because you actually getting comfortable with yourself, it literally has nothing to do with you kind of focusing on like, I have to get comfortable with myself. Like, that's not the way you're going to get comfortable with yourself. And they don't want you to feel victimized or like withheld from. When they say like, well, we want you, they're just saying you're already moving in this direction. The momentum is so right. You have to trust us. Like, not in every lifetime is your momentum headed in this direction in such a way. We're using it, we're taking it all the way across the finish line, but you've got to trust us, you know? Kind of a thing here. So yeah, toxic relationship, fighting, codependent, misunderstanding, and trigger. So, I feel like they don't want to trigger you. Oh yeah, musician, snake charmer. This is going in for a fantasy. You're making so much. And I feel like this is what this is. It's like all of this kind of overlaps. They're saying you just being like very calm inside of yourself and not feeling like the grass is greener. Because I feel like that is potentially, there's going to be a temptation. It creates a stronger temptation that needs to be that to go in for something that looks like really great. Because maybe you have been alone for a long period of time. That's another variable here. Because you've been working on this, because you've decided to work on this in your life, that now becomes another variable. You have been alone. You really would like to have another person. So if somebody comes in and they look really great on the surface, then you have motive to maybe overlook some of those things and to jump right into it. And I hope this doesn't feel like I'm nitpicking you, and your guides don't want it to come off like that. They're not trying to like grade your paper with a red pen, you know, but they're just saying like, this is going with the flow. Like, you just have to trust us. And mystery, unknown, enigma, illusion, and confusing. Yeah, like this is confusing. It's not necessarily supposed to make sense. like their side of it, their bureaucracy of it, like where they're kind of managing all the details, it's not necessarily supposed to make sense to us from this side of things. We're in the experiential side. You know, we're experiencing things. We're like along from the ride. And that's what I was saying with like the perspective. To me, it's like when you know that, when you fully understand that you're on the experiential side, and the things that you're meant to know here as a person are things that you're meant to experience and go with the flow. And you don't always have the explanation for why things happen the way that they do. And it's not a problem if you can't explain things. Sometimes it's more of like a hindrance or an obstacle. But if you open up and you just get more curious, like instead of feeling victimized by it, or that something is wrong because you've been single for X amount of time, or that, you know, that it has to like go, it has to look a certain way, or it has to be on this timeline, otherwise something's wrong. Nothing's wrong. Like you're on your own path here. And instead they want you to get curious about why nothing's wrong and what could possibly be the reason. Something that you don't see before, something that you haven't seen before. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean that there's not a reason, you know, like kind of a thing. And just like, they're showing me it's like a flow state. Like they want to get you into the flow, and they want to get you into the curiosity about why things happen the way that they do. And they don't want you to get in the habit of dictating to them what's appropriate, what's right, what the timing should and shouldn't be. And because it's not fitting this timing or that timing, it's right or it's wrong. They don't want you to get caught up into that. They'll tell you from their side if something is absolutely right or absolutely wrong. They'll tell you. But those things are like fewer and farther in between. But you're on the experiential side. So you're having an experience and you're engaging with that experience. And it's an inner experience and it's an outer experience. You're having emotions around these certain things. So like, what is that bringing up? Or like, I don't know. I feel like I'm just preaching to you. And fated meeting, meant to be destiny, predetermined encounter. I think it's less about that. And it's more about like your own energy. And we get there when we get there. I just heard that. We get that when we get there when we get there kind of thing. And they want you to just be a part of this like dance, you know? Change. Yeah, they're helping you with this change, regeneration, growth, metamorphosis, and cycles. I feel like I don't even like this message. I don't know. I don't like, it feels like I'm preaching. It feels like I'm nitpicking. I don't have a dog in this fight. But I feel like they're trying to address some kind of anxiety. Mask, hidden motive, conceal, disguise, and lying about a soulmate, twin flame, soul contract, soul connection, past lives. Romantic feelings, falling in love, affection, happiness, and emotions. I think you have anxiety about determining if it's a soulmate or if it's somebody that's spiritual awakening. Yeah. Okay. So it says hookup, lover, a spiritual awakening. This led you to some kind of spiritual awakening. I just heard, what would it do to you? Okay. This is what I just heard. Okay. What would it do to you if we told you this romance stuff, okay? Like you had this ex-lover, there was a hookup thing, you know, and the purpose of it wasn't so that you can find your twin flame or your soulmate, some kind of romantic sexual experience. What if we told you the purpose of that was for the spiritual awakening and you've already had that? And that was the highest thing that you can achieve in this lifetime. And the way that your life, and I also just heard like that true spiritual awakening is like, and the way that your life unfolds after that, you can take it or leave it. Like it's about the ride then. It's about this kind of like living life as the experience. What if we told you, like, what would that do to you as a person? What would that do to you emotionally? What if we told you nobody was coming? They're not saying that, but I'm just saying, what if I told you nobody was coming? What if I told you you're going to be alone forever in this lifetime? What would you do? What would that change for you in your life? There is no one coming. How do you live your life from this moment forward? What things are you trying to focus on? What things are you trying to get better at? What things are you trying to let go of? What are you looking forward to in your future? What are you going to plan for yourself? What are you going to do for yourself? What does your day-to-day routine look like? What do you spend your money on? How does that change your life? I feel like there's something here about that. Like they want you to consider like, what would that do? So I think that's what I'm trying to explain when I'm like, and I sold all of my stuff and I really didn't think anybody was coming. I was really depressed, like for a long period of time. And then I was like, wait a second, I love spirituality and I have always loved temples and things like that. And I'm like, what if that could be my life? And when I was like, nobody is coming, it is me and myself and I actually they're saying that's what shifted my timeline. Is because I started actually doing things as if it was just me. My life was just about me and like my soul's experience and things like that, right? So it's not about this is going to be the outcome, that's going to be the outcome. It's not about that. The future is always in flux, is what I'm hearing, and it's all about like your experience. And you might surprise yourself with what you actually want. And some of you, if you start to like actually act on, what if it's just me forever? And you start actually like acting on that and finding ways to, what does your fulfillment look like then? You know, what does your happiness look like then? And when you actually start to just focus on that, that's what actually shifts you into the other timeline. That's also a paradox point, and it's nothing you can fake. It's nothing that you can logic. It's nothing that you can strategize your way to getting like, and we have a funny way of being led by our strategy and by like our own hidden motives. That was why the hidden motives card came out. They're saying like you have hidden motives here that are active within yourself, like within your psyche, that are actually preventing you from fully dropping something here and being in the immersion experiential thing that is life. And I think it might be this fairy tale that everybody gets a soulmate and that's your reward for being alive, and that if you're doing it right, then you're going to know it because you're going to meet your soulmate. That's not for everybody. That's not everybody's story. And a lot of people, I've just heard very pragmatically in my mind, a lot of people get married for much different reasons than love. They get married because they have to, or they get married because their families make them, or like, you know, it's not always that, but I feel like there's this story that they want to break in you. And ironically, once you break it and the expectation of it, or even it's hidden though, it's like a hidden motive. Oh, okay. Maybe they're saying you have a hidden motive to engage in spirituality, and it's to find like a romantic sexual partner that you feel like is high vibrational and therefore a good mate. But they're saying it's biological. That's like still a biological motivation. And I'm not saying that's all encompassing and that, oh, well, you're totally disingenuous. No, but I'm saying this is what the spiritual journey is, right? We kind of grab these little things up out of our subconscious. So they're saying, what if we told you nobody was coming? Like they want you to kind of look from that perspective, switch over into that perspective. I hope that's okay. Rarely does anyone ever marry a soulmate. Yeah. Yeah. But it's not about the outcome, right? It's about the inner experience of that, of dropping these kind of like indoctrinating beliefs, or even like the hopeful thing that we like kind of, I can't let go of this because this is, you know what I'm saying? What happens if you did let go of it? Just play with it and have fun with it. Be curious about your reaction of it, you know, and just maybe see how that changes. Oh my gosh, they're literally saying, so many of you are yelling at Jess. So many, or like the other readers, I'm so sick of hearing this energy. I'm so sick of hearing that energy. And they're saying that's what's bringing it in because you have so many other things in your life, but now's not the time. Maybe you don't have any options right now, but you're going to love tarot readings and you know full well that you don't have any options in front of you. So what are you expecting to hear? You're expecting to hear the fantasy or like what's coming in because you think it's like this destiny thing and you feel like you're being rewarded for this or that. Or the only thing that we can process with you is things that have already come and things that have already passed. And you are learning a lot and it is a part of your spiritual experience. But they're saying like it's this hidden motive that is giving rise to these being the things that come through in like the readings. And we can't be blaming other people or like spirit or whatever. Like that's what's in your energy field. And so I think they're saying we're processing through this kind of the Disney fairy tale. We're processing through the lies that you've been told and kind of on a subconscious level expect, you know? So if we really want to change the energy, and somehow that's attached to the ex, because that was how they, I'm getting it. That's how they burst through the fantasy, was with the ex or like with whatever played out here. That's why they keep tapping around this. This is because they want you to focus in on that. That's when they burst through the fantasy. It's not a fantasy, was it? You were really drawn in here, and then all of a sudden something came out of left field and it wasn't what you thought it was. And that goes into some kind of like psychological motive where something isn't in tune necessarily with the reality of things all the time. And so they're saying, I don't know what they're saying. I don't know. And also because I don't really understand how any of this stuff works, like to be honest. And I don't know, like I said, I thought, oh, I'm going to be a nun forever. And then like I ended up getting married. I really didn't think that this was going to be like my path at all. So it's funny. And that's the other thing that I think they want you to know is like, just because you point your boat in a certain direction doesn't necessarily mean that you're getting all the way there. And it's just like when you use a GPS and it's like, say you got to go somewhere and you got to go southwest, but like you got to go northeast for like just a little bit in order to take the road to go southwest. They're navigating you and they're using like your mind in order to do it. And grappling with these things, it's releasing certain baggages and it's fully releasing it because you've done a lot of work is what they're saying. But there's just this little bit more to go. And it's this attachment. There's an attachment here that they've been trying to get you to pay attention to. But you're just focused on the future. And you think that just because your conscious mind wants to focus on the future, that you're focused on the future. And they're like, I'm begging you to learn that that's not what's going on here. You want something particular in your future because of something in your past. And so a lot of you are learning how to debrief an experience from your past so you don't have to repeat it in the future. And you've already decided that that's what you want to do, which is why your guides are in alignment with that. They're saying you did want this spiritual attainment. You did want to clean this up so that you don't bring this back into your life. And I think that's what you're learning, is to let go of an attachment to this idea of romantic love and how it's intertwined with your own spirituality. Because what if it's not? What if nothing that we experience here is necessarily, as a guarantee, intertwined with our spiritual experience? What if you can have any experience here ever known to man and it's all spiritual? Whether you're a spinster, whether you are a nun, whether you are a workaholic, what if it's all spiritual? And there's so many different paths, and we have to kind of let go of yeah. I'm hearing, what does that give you? Like, if you were in this kind of like divine romantic relationship, what does that give you? What do you want out of it? Not because they're saying it's bad or anything, but they're saying, what is it that what is the romantic relationship a proxy for in your mind? Is it some kind of experience? Is it some kind of feeling? Is it a feeling of worthiness? Is it a feeling that you matter? Is it a feeling of purpose? So if that was no longer an option, that wasn't the one-stop shop for you to achieve all of those things, how else would you go about achieving those things? Purpose, spirituality, direction. What would it look like? Okay, some of you, this might be a good exercise for you to do. Not that it's going to happen or anything, but if you were going to, I'm literally getting goosebumps. Like, if you were going to craft a life for yourself and it was going to be completely loveless, like in terms of romance, what would it look like? Who would you be? What are your goals? How are you achieving them? I think for some of you, they just want you to consider this. Just to consider this deeply. Like, deeply consider this. Oh my gosh, and I'm hearing that is being truly alone. That is being truly single. Because for some of you, you're not allowing yourself to settle into the singleness because you're projecting yourself out into the future relationship and processing the past relationship. So you're never truly single, even though maybe you've been alone. You've never been truly single. And they want you to have this experience of being single, but it's like this experience of enjoying your aloneness, pampering yourself, meeting your own needs, whatever that is. I don't know. I hope this doesn't feel like I'm lecturing you. Because I don't know. I'm trying to feel myself like around this as well. I feel like they're trying to shake you, to awaken you to something here. And they've been trying to do it. Exactly. If it's too painful to hear about your past, then you will never be able to arrive in a healthy present to make better, healthier choices. Yeah. And there is a sticky point here with this. There is a sticky point where there's something, it's a hidden motive here, and it's something that you're trying to gain or attach to via a romantic relationship, but it feels like magnetic attraction. It feels like something, and it can be a blinding experience. And it feels like you've done a lot of processing around this, but there's this like hook, and it's strong too. It's like some kind of metal strong hook. And if they don't unhook that, then you are going to manifest somebody back in, and it's going to be the manifestation of that hook. A lot of these other things are going to be better, but it's still going to have the kicker. The kicker is still going to be there. And they're not trying to scare you with this. They're just talking to you plainly. Like, this is still going to be there. And it is going to blow up at some point. And it's going to put you right back at square one. And then we're going to start this over. So we can do that. Okay, for some of you, I feel like this is the choice. We can do that. Okay? But it's going to be the thing where you're going to go through the entire cycle again. Then you're going to be back to square one. And then you're going to be processing this. And for some of you, I think you're so frustrated with processing this past situation that you may need that. Because you can't learn anymore. You're unwilling to learn anymore through this past situation, to just finish it up now, to really get to it. But you're also at the point where you got to really dig into this kicker. And you got to actually move it. And you can only be the one to move it, of like unhooking whatever this hidden motive is. But for some of you, they're like, okay, like your mind is getting impatient with not having some kind of magnetic attraction, lustful experience. So we're going to have to give that to you, allow you to go through the cycle again, and then start processing this new situation. And you will be further along because you've processed through a lot with this previous one. Then you're going to see the overlap, and then you're going to see what I'm talking about through a lived experience of it was the same kind of pattern, because clearly I didn't like get to something here that they were trying to show me. So they're saying we can go around again, but just know that I think the other choice is to be truly single, you know, and like, what does that look like for you? Processing like genuinely, truly being single, planning your life. If it's not a guarantee, it's not a guarantee that somebody's going to come in, and they don't want you to feel like you're being punished if that's the case. I'm hearing that quote that says like, how are you going to be polished if you're irritated by every rub? So, you know, if they're like, this is what's best for you, you have declared being on a spiritual path in some sense. And we need you to consider this path of aloneness, or at least like truly immerse yourself in what that might mean for you. But then if we do that, you feel punished because you have this underlying hidden story narrative that you're only spiritual. Yeah, this is very twin flame too. Like where you're only spiritual if you're with a partner. Or that you've only attained some kind of spiritual realization if you're with a partner. Buddha wasn't with a partner. Jesus wasn't with a partner. Like, where are you getting that? Like, I'm hearing, where are you getting that? There's a lot of different ways to be spiritual. Aren't you curious what your spiritual path looks like? You're not asking us what it is. You're telling us what it is. You're saying it's magnetic, lustful attraction with another person. That's how I'm going to feel validated that I've made spiritual progress. And they're saying, look, you have. So we'll do it. But I don't want to hear you crying, saying, why did you do this to me? Because we didn't. Okay. But we're saying, we'll bring another one in if you have to go through that experience again. And it's totally fine, but we will do that. But you did ask for this, and we weren't punishing you when it blows up in your face. It's just because we're trying to get you to learn this other thing. But what we need is, if you're going to be on the spiritual journey, be on the spiritual journey. And that looks like this. It looks like being open. It looks like being curious. It looks like you saying, what is my spiritual path? What am I supposed to be learning? What do I need to unlearn? Right? And I'm open to the experiences that are going to bring that to me. It doesn't look like, and it looks like 2.5 kids in the suburbs having sex. Like it might look like that for you. It might not, but you didn't ask. That's what I heard. You haven't been asking, boo-boo. You've been asking about this, or you've been asking about that. So, and they're telling me too, because this is also, don't come at me. Don't come at me, okay? Because, listen, I run this tarot channel, right? And I have these like stats on the back end. And I'm literally getting, because for a while I was trying to do these more like spiritual readings, and like nobody would watch them. Some people will. We do them over on Patreon. We always do a non-romantic reading. We do more of that over there. And that is a group that actually appreciates it and watches those readings to the same amount that they watch the romance readings, but not everybody is like that. And so I saw somebody too, they were talking about politics, where they're like, people love to lie, and they love to lie to themselves about why they make the choices they do or whatever. They say that it's for one thing, but then their choices clearly show that it's not for that. And I've experienced that firsthand, like being a tarot reader on this channel. People love to say, well, I'm in this energy or I'm in that energy, but it never shows in the stats. Like if it's never shows in the stats. So it could be as well that maybe more of you are interested in doing less of the romance readings of, you know, whatever. But also I've just been doing the channeled readings too, where they've like been bringing certain things up. So I think they're unearthing a hypocrisy maybe for some, where it's like, no, I my conscious mind, and there's nothing wrong with this, because we have like this conscious mind, right? My conscious mind thinks that I'm in this place, but what is my subconscious mind? Where is my subconscious mind actually? Am I actually in that energy, or am I frustrated with myself because I feel like I should be moving on for this, but I haven't? There's something here that you haven't let go of. And I'm not saying that it's this person, because some of you have let go of this ex, but it's the feeling, it's the intensity, it's the magnetic attraction. It's that, that's an addiction. It's the brain wants that feeling again, you know, and because it wants that feeling, but it also wants spirituality, it's merged them together. And it said, my story will have these two merged together. But they're saying you didn't ask if they were naturally merged together or not. You're just telling us that's what it is, you know? And we might need to break that addiction to that sensation or something. We may need to break it, you know, in order for you to be on this spiritual path, but you didn't ask and you weren't curious. You just keep telling us that this is what it's going to look like, and that we're punishing you because you're not experiencing what you want to punish. Or what you want to punish, what you want to experience, and you feel punished by that. Or you feel like, come on, I've been doing this, like, where's my reward? Like a dog that wants a treat. It's like Luna goes and scratches that little post every time she wants to hear good girl. Every time, you know? And they're like, we see that that's what you're doing, but like, do you understand that there's a different way? You know, I hope this doesn't feel like I'm getting on your case. I really hope it doesn't. I'm so tired. Yeah, so all of this is like very, hey babe. There's a person called Armine Gregorian. Can you block that person? Okay, sorry. You cannot change the current problem with the same mindset that created it. And I feel like this is this ambivalent energy. Oh, okay, I get it. So for a lot of you, this is reflected in this partner from your past. They were ambivalent about you in this like relationship sense. They didn't know if they wanted to settle down. They didn't know if they wanted to play the field. They didn't know if they wanted you, or they didn't know if they wanted another person. That's you and your spirituality. You don't know if you want to play like be the worldly, or if like you want to be the spirituality. And you being in this point, I think, does like recognize some kind of spiritual progress, but this is a point of deep ambivalence in your soul. And that's where they're trying to highlight it. And they don't want you to shut it down. The fact that you need to be relating to the fact that this is where you are. You're a very ambivalent soul, I just heard. And you've made a lot of powerful progress, but don't shut it down by saying that you're fully committed to the spiritual path, when this is the energy that you're in, what I've just described, this kind of like confusion. And you're not wrong for it. You're not being punished for it, but we have to highlight it. That's what this is, right? They're wanting, so now that you're on board, now that you're on page, we need to talk about that. Do you want to now start addressing the state of ambivalence that you yourself are in as a soul in regard to the spiritual path? You cannot have your cake and eat it too. Oh my gosh. I feel like they showed you everything with this past ex. They were trying to have their cake and eat it too. They were trying to, as long as you didn't see this, then they feel like they're like, there's a version of this that's going on in your spirituality, and you're serious about your spirituality, which is why we're speaking to you so plainly. And I'm hearing it's actually quite it shows your progress that we can have this level of a conversation with you now, because it would have broken you in the past and your ego would have flared up all over us, and you would have been like, that's not true. I'm on the spiritual journey because don't you see me draped in beads and I smell like sage? And they're like, that's not spiritual. And now you know it. Now you know it. That's not necessarily spiritual. That you're going through all the practices and you do your prayers and you've got the crystals. That's not necessarily spiritual, but you're deeply ambivalent and you're really called towards an authentic spiritual path. The kind of spiritual path that you would forsake the world for. That's the kind of spiritual path that I'm getting goosebumps. Yes, we see it in you. They're proud too, because this is hard for a soul to get to that like level. It's deeply difficult. But you sit right on that precipice where you still have that kind of pull toward the worldly. And that's what twin flame ideology, this is not my opinion, I have not thought about this, but they're saying that's what twin flame ideology gives you. It gives you the best of both worlds. It says, I can be that, having everything at the pinnacle of like the world, and I can have everything in the pinnacle of my spirituality. Choose. No, make a decision. Are you pissed that this ex couldn't make a decision? Make a decision. So that's what they're saying. Like maybe like something here, like you're stuck in this single mode and it's because it's weird. If you caught it, you caught it, and I'm not going to mention it. But anyways, like you're in this weird situation where you're like, I don't know what I'm manifesting. And so your manifestations are going to be weird. It's going to maybe look like it's spiritual, but then it's going to, and as a person who's lived in spiritual community, oh my gosh, the amount of like men who are like, I'm so spiritual, but they're just a rat bastard. Like they're just an absolute rat bastard. But people like really fall for it because they smell like sage and they're dripping in beads and they talk to you about their aura. Like, you know the type. Like you're right to be, okay, like what is spiritual to you? Like if we brought somebody like that, would you fall for it? Like, or you know what I'm saying? And is it because you're lonely and you really want this spiritual relationship? That's what they're saying. You've unearthed this deep ambivalence. And this is what it is to break free from the world. This is what it is, and so them saying like, they're trying to crush your spirit a little bit. So them positioning to you, it's different for everybody, like that devil temptational energy, right? Because some people want riches and fineries, but some people want love. And I feel like you want love more than anything, but it's a romantic, passionate kind of love, and so that's what they're saying is like, if I was talking to somebody who was like just insanely greedy and all they wanted was just like all the riches and all the monies, right? So that soul's ambivalence is like they're being tugged over here, and their guides would be like, what if you were never going to be rich? What if you never earned another cent? Then what? That's how that person would be confronted with their spiritual path. But they want to confront you, and it is a confrontation. It's a tower moment energy internally where they want you to kind of grapple with this energy, to see yourself clearly, to see where you're actually at. What if they're not coming? What if you're not ever going to get that like magical, passionate love? What then? They're trying, that's what it's unearthing this ambivalence, because they want, okay. Yeah, they said that you're in the back seat too, because you're ambivalent and you need to make a decision. And so you're putting it on your guides and you're putting it on like, oh, the readers are just like out of completely nowhere, tapping into this energy. I mean, all of them at the same time, it's like, and I don't know why that is. And I'm certain that it's because, I'm not in that energy, but they're picking up on that energy. I don't know why, and I'm not curious as to why. And I'm just going to say that it's wrong. And so I'm going to shut it down, and I'm not going to get curious about it. And they're saying, you're the one that's going to make this decision. And you can't fully make this decision unless you fully consider what this other path might be. And if you're going to be okay or not. And sometimes we got to do a thought experiment where it's like, well, would I be okay? What would I, who would I be? What would I look like? Like actually explore that. Yeah. And they're like, we don't want this blowing back on us anymore. We're not punishing you. We're not anything. Like, we're just unearthing like some kind of this, it's Pluto energy. It's like what's in your psyche. And something that controls you is what I'm hearing. That controls you. This desire for this passionate love to stop all of time. And it sounds really romantic. And I've heard myself say that in readings, and I'm that way too. And I feel like in a weird way, it was like a death experience when I like left my hometown and I like went off. It was a death because I had to dead her. I had to bury her. I had to be like, listen, you just caused me so much pain and there's no answers here and ain't nobody coming. So I need to like pick myself up and move myself in a different direction. And I need to be brave enough to actually explore that. It was a death. It was like an actual death energy that I experienced. And that's what they're saying is like, at least in your mind, like what happens what happens if the love that stops all of time is God? And it's not God that you like ride his dick every night. Like it's God. What if it's God in a bigger way? That you're being asked to, that experience blunts you. It actually blunts you, blinds you from being able to see it. Chasing after that. And it's such the sexual energy is such an intense energy. It's very distracting. It's very blinding. So what if that's actually blunting your progress, your happiness? What if there's a different way? What if there's a different energy? And they want you to get out of that pool and get into this pool and just swim around and just see what it feels like in this lifetime, And some of you, like, I don't know, with me, because I'm scared of love. I'm scared of other humans, and I'm especially scared of men. I think a lot of them are selfish. I think they've been indoctrinated into some nasty ass shit. And so literally, I think there was a paradox for me where they were like, you went to find God, find it here. And like, they gave me Alex. And it's like, find it here. And that wasn't what I was expecting at all. Because kind of in a way, I was also running away. And some of you might find that that's you as well. But you still have to like run or like cut away from it in order for them to kind of like bring that back around in that kind of different energy. Because there's something that you have to fully dead. And it's a version of you. And it's a version of your future. They're showing me past, present, future. Like this kind of connectivity here. So I hope that you still like me after this. And I hope that made sense. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I am sorry. See that ambivalence? This is me. This is my ambivalence too, because I'm like, I want to like deliver spiritual messages and I want to deliver truth. Oh my gosh, I'm in that energy too, because I'm scared because like I said, I've noticed people don't watch those videos. They don't. Like, I mean, some people do, but like it's nowhere near the people who will watch like this kind of video or something. So I get scared to bring forward that kind of message. And I also get confused because I'm like, maybe I'm not supposed to be bringing forth that kind of message. But it's like, Jessica, you have to follow like your spirituality. So I'm in that ambivalent energy as well. So this is where we all meet. This is where we're all in here together, baby. Yeah, it's hard. This is hard. And it's like, I want to be this one thing, but then I don't know how to do it. And I don't know how to let go of this other thing. And I don't know how these energies are communicating. And I don't know what any of this means. Dolores, this is a good point. She said, so you're saying we have to give up on the desire for passionate love in order to be truly spiritual. That is not what I said. And I'm so glad that you brought it up. That is the surface level of what I said. But this is exactly what they're trying to say to you. Listen deeper. That's the one thing you want. You have to give up the one thing that you want more than anything. The one thing that your mind preoccupies itself with, tells you is the only reason for living. Something that's earth-based, right? That's what they're talking about. So if that's not for you, then it wouldn't be passionate love. That's the example that I was giving. Like if somebody's like so obsessed with like greed and wealth, if you were like Jeff Bezos, then it wouldn't be passionate love. We wouldn't be sitting here saying like, you've got to give up this like passionate love. Like what would it, and they're not even saying you have to give it up. They're saying explore what would it look like to fully give it up? Who are you like beneath that? Then what? In order to truly understand that thing. If you are not willing to give it up, that's an attachment and you've learned a lot about yourself. That's the spiritual process, right? If you're just unwilling to even consider that maybe you should leave it behind. But once you do, then that's the only way that you can truly even understand that thing for what it actually really is. Have you ever heard that like the only way to know somebody, to truly know them is like after you've ended things? Because some people, like, you end things and it's very amicable and everything. Some people, it's like crazy town. But a lot of people feel like they didn't really actually know their partner until they actually broke up with them, until their relationship didn't actually matter and they didn't see a future with them or whatever. That's the kind of energy. I'm not at all saying specifically that you have to specifically give up that passionate energy to be spiritual. I'm saying whoever I'm speaking to, because of the role that plays in your psyche and in your life, that they're wanting you to really truly give that up. It's kind of like they're saying giving it up for Lent. So they're also saying, again, it's like a short period of time even, but it's in order to give you a different perspective, but you have to truly do it and actually do it in order to get that perspective. Does that make sense? But I'm not trying to have a cerebral debate about, like, you know, for instance, like the monkhood or the priesthood, and they're not allowed to have sexual relations, and, you know, oh, you can't be spirit. It's not on that level. That's very surface. It's very cerebral. That's not what they're saying. They're getting at your own personal psyche for whoever this is talking about. And if they were speaking to somebody else, then it would be another thing, if that makes sense. So, yeah. To protection of my, yeah. So, I hope every time you say you're not sure, I find it so helpful. Listen deeper. Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like, I'm not sure about these things. They float these things to me. And also, I just say, like, what I don't like about being a tarot reader or being a messenger of any kind, which is like, okay, I'm hearing messages and then I got to say them to you, is that it's not coming from me. So these are not my thoughts or concepts. And, like, a lot of times I'm just like, okay, well, I've never thought about that before, but I'm trying to explain it to you. And sometimes I think it's unfair. And, okay, they're calling you out on this too. Ugh. They're saying it's unfair and it's lazy because I'm hearing it just now too, and then I'm telling you, and then you just heard it. And so to say to me, like, well, explain it to me in full detail, instead of stopping and considering what's being said, I'm going to have to stop and consider this later on too. I'm going to, like, do my process. And they're also saying this as well. We suggested an experience for you to have. And it's kind of the same. They're saying, like, if someone considers, like, it's kind of the same thing as somebody saying, like, maybe you should stop smoking cigarettes for, like, just a week, you know, see how it goes. And somebody's like, no, you know, like, are you having that kind of reaction to it? You have to question yourself and really question, is this my beliefs, or is this an addiction? Why am I having a strong reaction to this? Like, what is it that I'm afraid of giving up? Like, get curious about yourself. And they're saying this is a way to do it. And I think they're even saying, like, we threw this drop in the bucket, you know, to kind of, like, frenzy up the energy, but pay attention to the frenzy because they're unearthing the sediment from the bottom. That's the spiritual path, regardless of what it is. When the drop goes in the bucket, pay attention to all the sediment that just got kicked up. Don't be agitated by, like, the thing that fell into the bucket. Do you know what I mean? Try to maintain your composure and your focus and say, okay, this thing flipped in the bucket. It's unearthing this. Okay, this is a thought that I'm having. This is a thought that I'm having. And get curious about that and, like, parse through why. I wonder why. Jess doesn't know why. I wonder why. Why are they saying that to me? Does this suit me? Like, go through your process with that, because this is a process. Spirituality is always process oriented. It's not fixed. They don't want to tell you the outcome. They don't want to tell you why, because it's about the experience. So they've floated an experience, and they keep saying for Lent. It might be a good idea to try to give up something here for Lent, and some kind of, like, passionate like, experience. And maybe we can all do that together. If you guys want to only do, like, for the Lent period, we will only do the spiritualiest of spiritual, which I do think that all of life can be spiritual. But if you can't know that you're a specific person and that relationships can be very spiritual, and they are for some who don't have an attachment to it or an addiction to it. But maybe for you're using it more as an attachment or an addiction or some kind of coping at this current junction of your life. So it's different for you, and that they're not speaking in absolutes. They're not interested in that. I hope that makes sense. Yeah. Hooky manifestation marketing. Re-listen to this message as a form of shadow work. This is like a class, perform your own research to add gained knowledge. Yeah, like, you have to, yes, exactly. It is like a class. Like, it's not about the passion. Yeah. They're not trying to demonize this passion energy necessarily. But, yeah, they're saying if we suggest that you remove it for a time, what's your reaction to that? And get curious about why that's your reaction. Don't just take some kind of position on it, right? Get curious about, like, your psyche. Get curious about where it comes from. And they're just saying this would benefit you as an exercise. to know more about yourself and your own path. Anyways, I'm running out of steam here. And they're really wanting to get me in my right position for a lot of you. And just like tarot readers in general, we're messengers. We're not teachers. We're not anything like that. We're just messengers. We're people and bodies. And so don't come to me like I'm a teacher. I'm sure that I hope you do learn certain things. I learned certain things from here too, but I'm not trying to take that position as teacher because I just know that I don't know. I'm just trying to divinate. I'm trying to look at, I feel like I just peel up a little piece at a time and I float certain things. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do in order to be of assistance to you. But I'm not trying to dictate your path, and I'm not trying to tell you, I'm not trying to speak in absolutes. And I think it's a very unfair position for somebody to put me in their own mind to like, you know, if something doesn't feel right to you, it can just be that. And that's the last thing that I'll end on is if it really is just neutral, there's not that strong trigger response to it. And it's not necessarily that it's bad when you have a trigger. It's just something to notice. It's just like that rock going in and it's kicking up all the sediment. And so instead of being like all frenzied about it, just like, okay, so I'm having this thought. Why do I have so much resistance to this? Do I have resistance to this? Am I excited about this? Because for some of you, you got excited when I said it. When I said, well, maybe you could have some kind of different kind of life. You know? And it was like, whoa, maybe something that you didn't know was there. But it's unearthing. It's meant to unearth something you didn't know was there. Does that make sense? And that's the point of it, is to unearth something you didn't know was there. It's not necessarily the giving up of the relationship. That's not the focus of it. That's the tool. Does that make sense? I feel like I can't explain this. All right. Self-love is passion. Only when we master our own self can we relate to the other way. And it's like what I always say, if you're east of the river, you've got to walk west to get there. And you're west of the river, you got to walk east to get there. And I think some of you have been east of the river, I just heard for a long time, and you've been thinking that you're west of the river. And so you keep walking east to get there. But that's why you're not making the progress that you think, is because you haven't fully located yourself as west of the river or east of the river. Maybe that's it. You don't know if you're west or east of the river. And this exercise will help you do that. All right. So you guys are welcome. Okay, this was a lot. I know I probably ruffled some feathers with this one. This is also something that I'm working through as a reader. I have to be loyal to the message that I'm getting. I'm not saying I'm always right or always wrong or always indifferent, but the only way for me to do this job and for me to do this function is to just trust my process that I've dealt with. I read for so many people, and I always feel like we're both reading. So you always have to take what resonates for you. I think that everything that I say is going to resonate with all of you, 43,000 people. It's not. And that's part of the purpose of this too. That's like another benefit, I think, of general tarot readings is we both have to be doing our part of the dance here. But I don't think you should let yourself off the hook so easy if you're having some kind of strong reaction to what I just said. I think you should say well, why am I having this strong reaction to this? I don't think you should cheapen yourself on that experience. Even if you ultimately decide that that's not for you and you're not going to participate in that, I think you shouldn't cheat yourself of the experience of saying, why do I feel this strongly about this thing, and getting curious about your own psyche, but I'm going to leave that there. I hope that this is okay. I know that I ruffled some feathers here, but it feels like that was the purpose. And it feels like there's a timing thing and there's a ready thing and a responsibility thing. So, okay. All right. Yeah. Get some stable and sturdy tacos. Yes, ma'am. Thank you guys so much for being my people. Thank you for listening. Thank you for hearing me out. Thank you for being here on a Friday. Thank you guys for the super chats. Thank you for the support over on Patreon. And I just checked in. Who did what? It was a lot. Okay. And truly, I do mean it. Only take it if it resonates. If you're like, this isn't for me, I feel weird about romantic relationships anyways, then truly don't take it, right? Like you're in the driver's seat. Sidewinder, thank you so much for the $9.99. We love you. Thank you. Holly Dillon, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that you have the courage and strength to bring in the messages we don't want to hear so we can move through the blockages that keep us from our destiny. And I hope you guys know that I respect the spiritual process a lot. And I respect that you're here in a body. I think that's brave. I don't care if you are struggling. I don't care if you do yell at me. You're a person in a body. It's brave of you to be here. It's brave of you to be learning things. And I just feel like I need to respect you, and I need to respect that enough to just really actually give you what's coming through. If you find it helpful. If I am your reader at any given time, if you find it helpful. Just to speak I find it, I don't know. I would hate it if someone was like, well, I don't think you can handle this truth, so I'm not going to say it. It's like, I came because I want the truth, you know? Cat House again. Thank you so much for the super chat. Okay, truth can set us free. It's our gift to be triggered if so. Yeah, and I get triggered too. Like, you know. Okay. So that's what we have. I'm going to let that go. I'm going to go eat my tacos. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.